Speedway on a cool, cloudy Monday morning for the resumption of the FireKeepers Casino 400, the NASCAR Cup Series live on the Motor Racing Network. My name is Jeff Striegel. Alongside is Alex Hayden and the crew chief, Todd Gordon. The race halted yesterday on lap 51 due to rain begins here shortly with 149 laps remaining, with Chase Elliott right now at the front of the field. Steve Post and Chris Wilner are on pit road. Mike Bagley and Dave Moody in the corners, and they're ready to go. Alex Hayden.
Yeah, they are, and we simply resume where we left off yesterday. Just a simple caution flag, and that means everybody goes back out around. Now, they did choose yesterday before the rains came as we were preparing to go back under the green flag. So what NASCAR's elected to do on that scenario is put everybody back where they were before they chose in the lineup, knowing that we were going to have another caution flag and begin rolling off the pit lane and give teams an opportunity to come to pit road. And there's been a couple of them, Todd, to do just that.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin immediately came to his pit box after the spin through the grass. Chris Gapehart needed to work underneath the car. They're working up on the splitter. Steve Post, you're down there watching it. He's off of pit road as they're coming to the choose point here.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Denny Hamlin yesterday had that skidder down through the infield grass. Chris Gapehart, I talked to him before we started here, and Chris said that the car was about 60%, and they felt like they could work under the race car to get it close to 90%. And these things are so sensitive. They have worked under the left side of the car the last two caution periods. Chris Gapehart just asked the crew, is everyone good? Do you feel good about what we did? And the crew members all simultaneously gave him the thumbs up. Denny Hamlin back down and away. This is all about details. Before they left, Chris Gapehart said, plug the fuel can in, get every ounce of fuel in as well, because we know fuel strategy could play out also. Fascinating stuff what's going on down here with Denny Hamlin. We'll see how that car reacts and performs over the balance of this race.
And with this Gen 7 car, the aerodynamics and all the downforce is underneath the car. It looks like the splitter area coming to the engine pan underneath. There's a transition there. You need to make sure that's all cleaned up. It looked like they were working in that area. I can't say specifically, but looked like they got the work done they needed to there. And we've seen the guys come side by side. They're into turn 3 now, coming back.
Yeah, and we're ready to go. And good morning to everybody that is listening to us at an office desk with the earbuds in, at the shop, wherever you might be. On this Monday morning, Alex, we're ready to go. It is Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch, row 1 for the restart here on lap number 55. Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace, row 2, Tyler Reddick and Martin Truex Jr., row 3, Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain, row 4, row 5, Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe, and just like that, we are ready to go back under the green flag.
Lap number 55 goes on the board, 65 to go in stage number 2, green flag in the air from chief starter Shannon Bednarik. Bubba Wallace on the back bumper of Chase Elliott will shove him to the lead in turn 1.
Gives him a big push into the fresh air, but back on the inside comes Kyle Busch. He's got drafting help from Alex Bowman. Bowman bobbles big time midway in 2. He gets put 4 wide as they come off turn 4.
They are 4 wide for 5th position. Bubba Wallace on the bottom. You've got Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, and also Chase Briscoe. It'll thin out to double wide. Briscoe is the first to get away from that 4-wide battle on the backstretch.
Bubba Wallace is going to fall outside of the top 10 and just make that Tyler Reddick is the one that's going to free fall outside of the top 10. Bubba's third, right behind Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott.
And he's got ideas about more. He rides in the 3rd spot. Here comes Kyle Busch breaking out of line. He's going to jump to the bottom on Elliott. He gets tight, pushes up the banking, sliding through on the inside. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. for 3rd place.
Double wide, 2 rows deep for the lead. Kyle Busch down to the inside of Chase Elliott. Behind them, Martin Truex Jr. to the inside of Bubba Wallace. Chase Briscoe looks on. They're still double wide, 2 rows deep.
This is basically a resumption, obviously, of what we had yesterday, which means there are 2 different strategies that have been employed after what was going on yesterday. Chase Elliott back to the front of the field. Kyle Busch right on his back bumper, but no longer. Here goes Busch.
Busch again will dive to the bottom and try and make a move for the lead. But again, he drifts up off the bottom of the racetrack. Chase Elliott with the momentum up high. Bubba Wallace trying to slide through on the top. He runs out of room.
Kyle Busch will slide across the nose of Bubba Wallace. This is the stacking up of traffic for second on back. Not for long. Busch again, bottom of the racetrack. He's going to send it into 3. Slide across the nose of Elliott. Kyle Busch to the point.
Chase Elliott now will look down to the inside, but he's not close enough. Off of turn number 4, 58 laps complete, and Kyle Busch leads here at Michigan. Chase Elliott right behind, then it's Bubba Wallace.
Half a car length back to Wallace in the 3 spot. Maybe not for long. Here comes MTJ. He'll dial up that low line. Goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He and Bubba Wallace are side by side for position number 3.
A couple of Toyotas racing there. Truex starting the inside run out of 2. Now it's going to be 3 wide. Chase Briscoe dives to the bottom of the back straightaway. He's going to get 2 at a time. He'll get Truex and Bubba. Chase Briscoe now will fly into 3rd.
And he'll drift up the racetrack in turn 4, leave the bottom wide open. Bubba Wallace will give a yank to the steering wheel to the left. Bubba Wallace alongside with Chase Briscoe. Here comes Truex, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain. This is a knot from 3rd on back.
That's a 6-car battle from 3rd place on back, and the battle for the lead is beginning to heat up again. Elliott looking to the bottom. There's nothing there. Further back, Truex working hard on Bubba Wallace.
That would be the battle for 3rd with Chase Briscoe involved there. Behind that battle, they're looking 3 wide for a moment. Kyle Larson now will look in his rearview mirror in 6th. See a side-by-side battle between Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell.
Boy, what a start we have here this afternoon. Truex now is the man on the move. He wants 3rd. He goes down to the inside. Bubba Wallace to his outside. They come across the line, literally wheel to wheel.
Side by side for position number 3. It's going to be Truex to the inside, right down on the yellow line. Bubba Wallace about a groove and a half further up. Truex gets a little tight. Inches apart, they get away in turn 2.
And again, Briscoe is going to make the bonsai dart to the bottom of the back straightaway. 3 wide for 3rd. Briscoe can't clear him. Larson's looking on. 3 wide still. Briscoe sliding up. Truex has to give way.
Phenomenal racing here on a Monday morning at Michigan, here in the FireKeepers Casino 400 at the front of the field. Chase Elliott tucked up underneath the rear spoiler of Kyle Busch.
Literally shoving Busch down now into turn number 1 at over 200 miles an hour. He'll back off by a car length, give Busch some air into turns 1 and 2. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, then about 12 car lengths back to Bubba Wallace.
That battle for the lead is about a second out in front over Bubba Wallace now. That will break free from that pack of traffic we've been describing. Martin Truex Jr. right behind him. Kyle Larson now being a part of this battle for 3rd as well.
Boy, again, Alex Hayden, what a start to this event here on a Monday morning. It doesn't matter where you look. We have a battle everywhere. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott at the front of the field. Wallace, Truex, Larson make up the top 5. Chastain 6th, Bell 7th, Briscoe 8th, Logano 9th. And Cory LaJoie right now is running 10th, Alex.
We talked a moment ago about the different strategies that played out with the pit scenarios from yesterday. before the rains came, Todd Gordon. With that being said, some of these drivers at the front of the field are on a completely different strategy from some buried back.
We have a break of about 5 to 6 green flag laps worth of fuel for these two pieces. When Denny Hamlin spun there late in stage 1, several cars, most of the cars came and got fuel and tires at that time. We don't know where they were on their fuel load, whether they waited on fuel or not. We do know that the guys that stayed out for stage points and came at 48, they stacked themselves full of fuel. William Byron making a great run forward here, up to 10th at this point. That's 15 spots since
I was
restart.
going to say, he's up 15 positions. Ty Gibbs up 7. Chris Buescher up 6. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski up 4. They're going the right way on the leaderboard. John Hunter Nemechek down 14. Cody Ware 14. Tyler Reddick, we talked about him. He has backpedaled 10. Battle for 3rd. Truex, Bubba Wallace give the spot to Martin as he heads to 1.
Martin Truex Jr. jumps to the number 3 position, and the battle for the lead is heating up once again. Down to the bottom comes Chase Elliott. Puts the nose underneath Kyle Busch, but Kyle is too strong off the top of 2.
It's Chase's best shot that he's had in the last handful of laps or so. He's got to back away, but now the battle's joined. Once Truex got 3rd, he has now joined the battle for the lead. 3-car breakaway. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and MTJ.
Great racing as Truex has run down that lead duo off turn 4. 3-car battle through the Geico restart zone, back to the start-finish line. Truex begins to size up Chase Elliott.
2-man dance is now 3 as Martin Truex Jr. closes in on Elliott's back bumper. Chase again goes to the bottom. In front of him, Kyle Busch about a groove higher. Around the outside, here comes Truex for 2nd.
Martin Truex Jr. around Chase Elliott. He'll grab 2nd. So you got a Chevy in the lead, a Toyota in 2nd, a Chevy in 3rd, a Toyota in 4th. Bubba Wallace there with another Chevy looming large. Kyle Larson about 4 car lengths behind this battle.
Well, Truex was 2nd. How long will that last? Because he wants the lead, and he wants it right now. Down to the bottom on Kyle Busch. Across the line. Advantage goes to Truex as they race to 1.
Nothing fancy, not a lot of strategy here. Just a brutally fast race car. He will take the lead on entrance into turn number 1. Following him through is Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch gets the heave-ho back to 3rd.
Elliott will slide across the nose of Busch, put him in the runner-up spot. Kyle will find a place in line in 3rd, but now Bubba Wallace joins the fray. 4 drivers racing for the lead. Elliott's going to take a look to the inside, but he can't find the room he needs at corner entry.
Martin Truex Jr., the 6th different driver to lead here in the FireKeepers Casino 400, 67 laps in.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $20.
Hey, that's me. Hey, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, turn on bell notification, guys. Share with your family and friends. Thank you. KimbroNator.
Motor Racing Networks and Wing Nation's Facebook pages. We go live with the weekend's winners and newsmakers from around the country. You can also find the podcast of all past shows on YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast providers. Wing Nation, all sprint cars, all the time.
Back here at Michigan, Martin Truex Jr., the leader in turns 3 and 4. Behind him is Chase Elliott. Challenge and change for the number 3 spot off turn 4. Bubba Wallace has taken that spot away from Kyle Busch, who is 4th. Running in the 5th spot is Kyle Larson, as we've got 51 to go here in stage number 2 for Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Hey race fans, Cory LaJoie here. Join Ryan Flores and myself for Stacking Pennies every week. I'll break down my race and everything that happened on the track right out of my windshield.
Plus, we give out the dogs of the week for the best pit crews and pit crew guys and go in depth for all the money stops, pit road woes, and penalties.
You know what? You never know what guests are going to stop by the Nonsense Garage, but you can listen to Stacking Pennies every week on your favorite podcast platform, SiriusXM Channel 90 on Tuesdays, and the full YouTube version drops on NASCAR Channel on Wednesdays.
No change in the top 5 since we last spoke. Martin Truex Jr. still shows the way. He's got an advantage over Chase Elliott, who was second. Bubba Wallace goes third. Kyle Busch is fourth, and Kyle Larson rounds out the top 5.
Right now, Ross Chastain side by side as he makes his way to turn number 3.
Ross Chastain on the outside, the corner entry. He's got William Byron to his inside. Very spirited battle among Chevy teammates.
Outside lane is the one that's going to prevail by half a car, but the momentum on the bottom side kicks in for William Byron. That lime and black Raptor Chevrolet goes to work on Chastain.
That top side lane has worked in very, very quickly, at least at this end of the racetrack. Chastain will use it for the moment to have the advantage as Martin Truex Jr. puts a lap on a scary loose John Hunter Nemechek.
John Hunter is not having fun right now at all. He has just lost a lap, and he's doing everything he can to hang on to his race car. He'll go to the high lane in 3, and the leaders will bypass it down low.
We have exactly 47 laps remaining in stage number 2. Here's a quick look at the top 10. Martin Truex Jr., all the Truex fans happy right now on a Monday morning. He's out front. He's leading over Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and Kyle Larson. That's your top 5. Christopher Bell, 6th. Ross Chastain, 7th. William Byron, 8th. Joey Logano is 9th. And Alex Bowman completes the top 10.
As those drivers continue to work under the green flag, 73 laps have been complete. Things begin to tighten up still with the William Byron-Ross Chastain battle. Still side by side as Joey Logano begins to run those cars down. They close in on that lap car of John Hunter Nemechek here off turn 4.
That again, the battle for position number 7. William Byron's got it. Ross Chastain tucked under the rear spoiler, and here comes the Ford of Joey Logano.
That's been a spirited two-man battle so far. They're going to swap lanes at least for now. Chastain goes all the way to the bottom. Byron runs the higher lane. Advantage to Willie B. He'll pull away by a car length, maybe 2.
That battle had contact last time out of 4. William Byron was trying to bypass the lap car of John Hunter Nemechek. Ross Chastain got into the back of him. Willie B had to check up, did a good job of doing that. Able to get the spot and pull away now from Chastain.
Behind them, they are 3 wide as they rapidly close in on the much slower car of John Hunter Nemechek. Everybody sorts that out and figures out they're going to have to find a way to get by. Here goes Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick. They're all in that mix in 1.
John Hunter does a pretty good job of finding a place to hide. He goes up as high as he reasonably can, allowing everybody to bypass down low. Blaney and Briscoe going at it for position.
And that position is outside of the top 10 with Briscoe in the catbird seat at this moment. He's got Ryan Blaney with him. Tyler Reddick is in that mix, and also Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
A.J. Allmendinger right there as well. Austin Cindric, perhaps the best battle on the racetrack right now, is 12th on back. Briscoe right now holding down 12th as they come across the line. Then you've got Blaney, then you've got Reddick, Stenhouse, Allmendinger, a number of cars all battling for position.
Briscoe and Blaney dancing cheek to cheek into turn number 1, and looking to thread the needle up the middle is Tyler Reddick. He'll think better of it as they exit to the back straightaway.
Ryan Blaney sealed off that advance as he swung from the bottom of the racetrack right up against Briscoe's left side door. Reddick's going to take a peek to the outside. He wants to go 3 wide, but Briscoe slides up right in front of him.
Mike mentions Tyler Reddick. When we took the green flag to get the race restarted back on lap 54, he was in the back half of the top 10. He lost 9 positions. Since then, Steve Postie's been able to get 2 of those back. What's going on with Tyler Reddick back in 14th?
They just cued the radio and said we're within 10 laps of the pit stop. Tell us what the balance is on the car. Tyler says, out in my own. it's a little loose, but when I get in traffic, it tightens up. And so they're going to work on the loose condition of the car, and they want it just a little bit tighter. And again, he's within 10 laps of their scheduled pit stop that's coming up.
Right now, Tyler Reddick running in position number 14. Kyle Larson making a pass on Kyle Busch, moved Larson to 4th. Busch back to 5th. Lap 78, top 3, Truex, Elliott, and Bubba Wallace.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised.
Hey, I'm here. I am in chat with you guys right now. I am not able to be here live. I'm recording this Sunday night. So do me one favor, guys. Huge favor. Hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever one. Get your feedback on this stream. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification whenever I come live. You guys can be here with me. Have an amazing Monday. We'll catch you in a minute.
Get your slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
1, 2, and 3 running right together. 4, 5, and 6 running right together.
Trouble turn 4. Austin Cindric up and into the outside wall. He got loose at corner entry of 3, chased the car up the racetrack, had the air taken off of him by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and skated into the wall by himself in the 4th corner.
Well, right now, Mike, we stay under the green flag. Cindric up against the outside retaining wall, just trying to get that car to the bottom. As a matter of fact, he has picked up the speed and has driven away. We'll follow up there when we come back. It's Truex and Elliott, and they are running right together on the racetrack. 80 laps in from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Keep up with all of the action during the 2024 NASCAR season with NASCAR Today.
William Byron has won the Daytona 500.
Every weekday throughout the season, we'll bring you the latest news and insights.
At that point, I really had in my mind, okay, we can really win this.
As we count down the days to championship weekend in Phoenix.
It's surreal still. I can't believe I'm in this position. I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Wherever you cheer, whatever you drive, you'll find Racing Electronics. With Racing Electronics, you'll hear uncensored communication from every team in the race and the broadcast with all your favorite MRN announcers. Hear every heart-pounding pass, pit strategy, and so much more with a scanner and headphone rental. Upgrade to an Easy Talk intercom system to comfortably communicate over the noise of the race. To learn more, visit racingelectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
Live from Michigan International Speedway on a Monday morning, it is the FireKeepers Casino 400. The top 3, Truex, Elliott, Bubba Wallace, they continue to run right together on the racetrack. Larson, Busch, and Bell running 4, 5, 6, running right together on the racetrack. Austin Cindric stayed on the racetrack, and he is running in position number 24. You heard Mike Bagley call Cindric up into the fence in turn number 4. Steve Post has been listening to that radio. Steve, what are you hearing?
Ryan Wilson, the crew chief, and Austin Cindric have been talking about it. The toe, which means the alignment of the wheels, how the wheel is turned, they feel like that is good. They're worried a little bit about the camber, and that's the angle of the wheel. Austin feels like maybe something in the rear end, maybe an upper control arm or something like that might be a miss on the car, but they are a little, the impact he had, I think they're a little happy that it's some damage, but not as much as they thought it could have been down there with Austin Cindric.
As they continue to run, 84 laps complete. Why don't we give you an idea where your favorite driver is running with 36 to go in stage number 2. As a matter of fact, here comes Bubba Wallace. He'll come off the racetrack. Bubba Wallace is on the pit lane. He makes his way all the way down in front of Chris Wilner.
This is the call for crew chief Booty Barker. They didn't get it fully full the last time they put it on lap 40. They're going to pack it full here. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires. the can of Sunoco fuel going in. I need to be a number tighter here on this run. They're also going to make an air pressure adjustment. Steve Post, who's by you?
His teammate Tyler Reddick brings the McDonald's Toyota in. They just want to work on the handling of the race car. Crew around to the right side of that automobile. Sunoco Racing Fuel is engaged. Right side tires off. Chassis adjustment. Now around to the left side. Second can of Sunoco Racing Fuel is engaged here for Tyler Reddick. Waiting for all the fuel to get in the car. Tyler Reddick down and away. Looking up on pit road. Here comes Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, the early race leader, through the strategy, had found himself back in the middle of the field. He reported the car was very loose. Here is the HendrickCars.com Chevy. Crew to the right side of that car. Going to be a chassis adjustment on that machine as well as they work around to the left side of the car now. Again, Sunoco Racing Fuel, so critical here at Michigan. Waiting on the fuel and getting the last ounce of fuel in before Larson is down and away.
Lap number 88 getting ready to go on the board. Larson's teammate now, postman Chase Elliott in the Napa Chevrolet is headed your way.
Chase Elliott pretty happy with his race car. It gets loose just over the end of a run. There they are in the Napa Auto Parts colors on the car. A tear off from the windshield. Sunoco fuel is employed again. Into the left side. Fuel can out. Tire changers come around. Fuel can in. Left side tires off. Left side tires on. And again, making sure we have all the fuel, all the Sunoco Racing Fuel in these cars. Chris Wilner.
Noah Gregson is in. He pits with his ZHR crew. They're already to the left side on a 4-tire change. Sunoco can going in. They're also going to pack it full of fuel here on lap number 88.
More cars peel off the racetrack under green flag conditions for service. Here's Ross Chastain in.
Chastain was complaining of a really tight race car, especially running the top side in turn 3 and 4. They're going to make a heavy air pressure adjustment on that Chevrolet. The Sunoco can is engaged, and the Goodyear Eagle slicks are bolted on. That Chevrolet, he's down and away.
Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman in front of the postman.
Buescher has the Fifth Third Bank colors on his Ford Mustang. Been pretty good here in the middle stage. They are going to make a minor chassis adjustment on that car. Go around to the left side. Alex Bowman wraps up his pit service here as well at number 89. Scheduled pit stops, and again, everybody making sure that their cars are full of fuel before they go back onto the speedway.
So Todd Gordon, let's talk about that. Last week at Richmond, Austin Dillon's team was the best team on pit road on 4-tire pit stops, only averaging 9.4 seconds a pit stop. Why now is it taking so much longer on these pit stops here today?
Because you can't dump that much fuel in that amount of time. When you look at this, in a 9.5 second pit stop, you can dump probably 12 to 14 gallons of fuel to try to get these tanks that are 20 gallons full. If you run it past that point, you're going to have to wait on fuel.
Michael McDowell now making his stop. That will come on lap number 90. Truex continues to pace the field. He does so in front of his teammate Christopher Bell. These drivers have obviously yet to come to pit road. Kyle Busch running third, William Byron fourth. Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney go 5-6. Ty Gibbs and A.J. Allmendinger 7-8. Ninth right now, Brad Keselowski, and Eric Jones has climbed into the top 10. But again, we're in the middle of what will more than likely be a long green flag pit cycle. As Alex, we see more drivers now coming to pit road.
Kyle Busch is coming in. William Byron is. Let's go to
and obviously for all of the drivers that are pitting right now, they will have enough fuel to take them all the way to the green and white checkered flag.
They will. The caveat, Jeff, is they're all a lap down right now after the green flag pit stops, including Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, all a lap down. Currently, should a caution come out, Todd, Kyle Larson would be the beneficiary of a free pass.
And the risk for these guys is that they are in this kind of position here where they're a lap down, but knowing everybody else has, if a caution comes, everybody else has to come to pit road. There's not a lot of lap time degradation. They're going to stay out, take the wave around. That's the risk that they get, but they'll end up on the lead lap here.
As Eric Jones pulls away, and now here comes the race leader, and that is Martin Truex Jr. He's in front of Chris Wilner.
He was one of the drivers, Jeff, this morning. Everybody had their eyes on as the quickest race car. They got it filled last time on lap 40, so a shorter fuel stop here. Goodyear tires already on the left side. They're going to go right a little bit more on the fuel to pack it in and send him on his way. Steve Post.
It's Joe Gibbs' racing teammate. The ring colors on the Christopher Bell Toyota Camry. Going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. And the tire just about get away. They were able to retrieve that tire. Christopher still not able to draft up on race cars. Again, waiting on fuel, Chris Wilner.
Harrison Burton is in already to the left side. He was complaining of a tight race car as well with his Ford Mustang. It's down and away. A little bit of a short fill for Harrison Burton this time. Josh Berry, who struggled yesterday early in the green flag run. They made adjustments the last time, and they're going to make more chassis adjustments here now. Still handling a tight race car for Goodyear Eagles and Sunoco Fuel.
The lead is cycled around currently to Ryan Blaney, who is now the race leader. As a matter of fact, Team Penske goes 1-2. Joey Logano currently second. Ty Gibbs is third. Brad Keselowski fourth, and Daniel Hemrick is up to fifth.
And now we see a couple of cars come to pit road. One a Spire car, the other one Todd Gilliland. He's on pit road.
Todd Gilliland is on pit road. They're already on the left side, and they put the fuel can in. A little bit shorter on fuel for Todd, but good handling race car. Just a slight air pressure for that Ford Mustang.
Joey Logano peels off the racetrack. He was the second place runner. Logano will have to go all the way down towards the exit of pit lane in front of Steve Post.
Logano is in the 4th pit box from the exit of pit lane. The Shell Pennzoil colors on that Ford Mustang. Here he is, coming in 3, 2, 1. Hits right on the signboard, crew around to the right side. Paul Wolf making the call to bring him in at this point. Now around to the left side. Sunoco Fuel out, Sunoco Fuel plugged back in. Left side tires are done.
And that is your top 5, down to 23 laps to go here in stage number 2, Alex.
Here comes Daniel Suarez on the pit lane. Suarez has got the jockey colors on board. Let's cover the Suarez stop.
Daniel Suarez complaining of a really tight race car in traffic. He said, I can't get the front end to turn all the way through. 4 tires, a standard pit stop for Daniel Suarez, and he'll be down and away with a full can of Sunoco fuel.
Right now, unofficially, it looks like about 8, maybe 9 cars that remain to come to pit road from those that were last on pit road. Just as we fired them up when we came on the air, that would have been lap number 52. So it's Blaney, Gibbs, Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Carson Hocevar. That is your top 5. That will cycle around and be different once, obviously, they come to pit road. Daniel Suarez off of pit road. Denny Hamlin right now running in 6th position. And, Todd, that is just an evil handling race car right now.
Yeah, it is. It's been a struggle for them. They're looking for the stage break when they get to the end of it to come to pit road, I'm sure, and work on it a little bit more. The guys that are staying out here, they're the guys that stayed out at the end of stage 1, came later. They had more fuel on board. All the guys you mentioned, part of that lap 48 pit cycle.
Now, I mentioned earlier, Kyle Larson, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, all those drivers were a lap down. Keyword, were. They are no longer. As this continues to cycle around with other drivers coming to pit lane, currently, we've got 15 cars running on the lead lap, and here are the 15. Ryan Blaney, the leader. Ty Gibbs, second. Brad Keselowski, third. Fourth is Carson Hocevar. Fifth is Austin Dillon. Kyle Larson is sixth. Martin Truex Jr., seventh. Denny Hamlin, 8th. 9th, Bubba Wallace. 10th, Chase Elliott.
The remaining cars on the lead lap, Ross Chastain, 11th. William Byron, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, and now Chris Buescher has just unlapped himself. 1 lap down. If we were to get a caution right now, some big names a lap down at the moment, including Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano. Eric Jones is a lap down. So is Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe. A number of cars a lap down. We're waiting on Ryan Blaney, and we expect him right now, and he's going to come off of turn number 4. Down to pit road he comes, and he will be running pit road at 55 miles an hour. The race leader, Ryan Blaney, is on pit road.
Jonathan Hassler making the call again. They're on the lap 48 strategy, pitting at the end of stage number 1. They said, wait on the fuel. We're going to fill it all the way to the brim. Tires are already already on the right side. Goodyear Eagles going on the left. Another can of Sunoco fuel is in. They're waiting, patiently waiting on the fuel. Jonathan releases them, and away goes Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, the fuel is just gravity released. That's it. It's a big red can. These big, burly, athletic pit crew members, they pick that up, put it in their arm, cradle it, attach it to the car, and Todd, you just got to wait for gravity.
Yeah, now it flows pretty quickly. It's somewhere between a gallon and a half and 2 gallons a second, but still when you're sitting here trying to get 20 gallons in this car, that's going to take 10 seconds of engaged time, not to mention swapping out the can for 1 to 2.
The Ziegler Auto Group Chevrolet for Carson Hocevar was on pit road. Now Austin Dillon is on pit road. So, Alex, we're down to this. Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, and Denny Hamlin. Unofficially, those would be the remaining 3 cars that have not yet pitted since we put them back under the green flag.
The key for Denny Hamlin, though, and we'll go to Steve Post on this, key for Denny Hamlin, Steve, is the fact that once we put the caution flag back out at 11 a.m. this morning to resume the race, they spent time on and off the pit lane repairing damage and putting fuel in.
Yeah, every time they did that, they put fuel in that race car so he can go further than everybody else. I don't believe he can make it to the end of the stage, but might be able to do it on a quick stop to save some track time. Here's his teammate, Ty Gibson. Ty's had a solid run, not a great run. Again, the Monster Energy colors on that car. Tires are done, and they're fueling that car up. Ty Gibbs is down and away.
Brad and Denny now, the only 2 that have yet to come to pit road, and you just heard why Denny may be able to stretch it further than everybody else, and obviously he is doing exactly that. It is Brad Keselowski was the race leader. Now it's Brad Keselowski on pit road, the driver out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. This is the one race postman that is remaining on his resume, and he wants to win at Michigan badly.
Oh my gosh, you talk about Brad Keselowski and you asking about Michigan, and you can feel how much he wants to win this race. Crew is around to the left side now. They need a minor chassis adjustment on the right side. Again, the fuel can is engaged. It's the Castrol Edge colors. A black car with some green, red, and white trim. And down and away, Brad Keselowski's going out, trying to get the home state win. All right, here comes Denny Hamlin now. The listeners see what they do on the Hamlin stop. Fairly confident he's going to want to stop and work on that car during the stage break. So do they go long on the fuel? Crew around to the right side. It's going to be a 4-tire stop. No, 2-tire stop. Enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, and Denny Hamlin is down and away.
And that will complete the green flag pit cycle with no caution in there. That is going to accordion the field back. Suddenly, we're back to 32 cars on the lead lap, and Kyle Larson is the race leader.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh.
Hey, that's me. Hey, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, turn on bell notification, guys. Share with your family and friends. Thank you. KimbroNator.
Was an ice cream truck to roll by. Now, you just can't wait for the Harbor Freight parking lot sale to roll around. And it's here. Stop in this weekend to save big. Maybe you're looking to fill up that tool chest. Maybe you're looking for a tool chest to fill up. You'll save money either way. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Valid until August 18th, 2024. While supplies last. Limitations apply.
15 laps to go, stage number 2, a battle for the race lead in turn 1.
Martin Truex Jr. has reeled in the Kyle Larson machine. He's going to go to the bottom of the banking. Can't make the move stick this time. Larson hangs on to the lead.
2-car breakaway for the lead right now. Larson and Truex, private battle for the point. Back 12 car lengths behind them comes Bubba Wallace. Right now, Larson able to leg out his lead by about 4 over Truex.
13 laps to go in stage number 2, and we'll pick that battle up for the lead when we come back. From Michigan International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and the Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
We come back under the caution flag on lap 108, not for one issue, not for two. How about for three, Alex Hayden? Todd Gilliland first, down the back straightaway, cuts down a right rear tire, no caution, brings the car onto pit road. Moments later, down the back straightaway, Joey Logano with a tire issue, right rear tire. He's on pit road, and then it was A.J. Allmendinger in turn one.
Yeah, and matter of fact, A.J.'s deal started just past the start-finish line. A lot of black skid marks, a big plume of smoke, and A.J. Allmendinger went spinning about 100 yards past start-finish all the way down towards turn number one. This is a big eyebrow raiser, the way all this happened. Two right rear tires deflated on two different race cars, and then the Allmendinger spin. Not sure what caused the Allmendinger spin.
All right, let's follow up quickly on pit road. We had Joey in front of Postman and Todd in front of Chris Wilner. Posty, what did you see? What did you learn with Joey?
The rubber is gone from this tire. It came over virtually as only the rim. Paul Wolf saw A.J. Allmendinger having a problem and was screaming on the radio, stay out, stay out, stay out. But Joey had already committed to pit road. But I don't know that I've ever seen a tire come in with less rubber on it for Joey Logano. Did not indicate what triggered that. That's the Logano story. Chris Wilner, what are they saying in Todd Gilliland's pit?
Yeah, well, there is rubber, Steve Post, on the Todd Gilliland right rear, but it almost looks like he ran over something. There was a pretty big indent and slice into the tire, and there's some cords coming out from as well. So more of maybe a puncture issue on the Todd Gilliland machine than maybe going flat. I did just check in with A.J. Allmendinger and listen into their radio. He has a left rear issue on his Chevrolet. So a little bit interesting. All these happen kind of bang, bang, bang kind of play. So we'll see what happens here. But Todd Gilliland certainly ran over something causing his puncture.
Yeah, the thing that I would look at here, we just went through green flag pit cycles. When you think about running low air pressures, especially in the back to get the diffusers lower, the place that you're going to see that is on green flags, because you go right out on the lowest pressure you've got and you ask everything out of that tire in turn one and then to turn three. You don't have those caution laps to kind of build a little air pressure. If these guys are low enough, which most of these guys are, to get the diffuser down, they may be right on the verge of the durability with the tire.
Time now under the caution flag to give you a mid-race update presented by Wendy's. Get ready to cool down this summer with the ultimate treat. This iconic dessert is too thick for a straw, but just right for a fry. Try a small Frosty for just $1. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
And this update comes just 10 laps now past halfway. With 90 laps to go in the event, 10 laps to go in stage number 2. It's Kyle Larson right now out front and under caution. Larson has led a grand total of 40 laps when you add up yesterday and today. Martin Truex Jr.'s led 28, Blaney 15, and Chase Elliott has led 10 laps. Everybody is still running. John Hunter Nemechek right now scored last. He is 3 laps down. We got a handful of cars a lap down. Everybody was on pit road just a few moments ago. Everybody should be good to go all the way to the end of the green and white checkered flag stage 2. It's Larson, Truex, Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. That is your top 5.
Pit lane remains closed as the field comes by. Doesn't matter for John Hunter Nemechek. He's coming in regardless. This is going to be an extended caution for this spin by Allmendinger. Reason being is they've got the car on a hook. dragging it all the way around this 2-mile racetrack at a very reduced rate of speed because it looks like all 4 tires are down on that car, and he is not one of the teams. This is the first weekend eligible to use the new actuators, the lift system that these teams had the option to run starting this weekend. There's only about 10 cars in the field that elected to use that. And that means a safety official comes out to the car immediately, plugs a canister of 950 PSI in. It basically lifts the back end. There's actuators on the rear shocks of the back of the car, lifts the car up off the ground so the driver can literally drive away with the flat tires. Obviously, A.J. Allmendinger and that Colleague car do not have them.
And the diffuser on the back of that car, we could see it from our vantage point being used up, Todd. It's just a simple tire down, but the damage that is occurring underneath that race car as they drag it for virtually 2 miles around this racetrack is going to be significant.
Yeah, it's not something you'll get back because the skirts on the side of the diffuser that go down and seal up against the racetrack and get it as close as you can to sealing up the racetrack, they're being worn down without the tire being there. They're getting, so once they get tires and get this back on the racetrack, the diffuser sides will be higher off the racetrack, taking downforce away.
There'll be 8 laps to go this time by in stage number 2. Pit lane is open. The overwhelming majority of the lead lap cars are coming in. Ross Chastain stays on the track. Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs, they all elect to stay on the speedway. Chris Wilner.
Martin Truex Jr. stays in, and he is on the racetrack, or on the pit lane now.
Stops down here in turn number 1, and as they continue to work down the racetrack and different drivers coming in, Chase Elliott is in. Here's Kyle Larson in. Kyle Larson's crew going to go with a 4-tire stop, chassis adjustment. Right in front of him, it is Denny Hamlin. The race off from pit road, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, and Larson is your front 5 off. We're going to have some time here to work on Denny Hamlin's car as they've completed their service, the regular service, and going to work on that race car. They're worried about the diffuser on that car, so they're going to work on it. Of note here, this is 88 laps from the end. These drivers pitting right now can make the rest of the race on 1 stop. Chris Wilner.
2 tires for Ryan Blaney. That was the late call by Jonathan Hassler. Martin Truex Jr. was in. They made a little bit of an adjustment as well. One interesting note on my end, Harrison Burton got tagged in the rear. We're working to figure out what happened, but that caused a chaos at the north end of pit road. So an issue there on pit lane. But as far as the leaders, it was a little bit of a mixed strategy, but Martin Truex Jr., going to check in on him, whether he had 2 or 4, but definitely 2 tires for Ryan Blaney here in this, hopefully, potentially one more stop to the finish.
So it was Ross Chastain that stayed on the racetrack. Kyle Busch also staying out. Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, and Austin Dillon. They stayed on the racetrack. First car off of pit road was William Byron in front of Martin Truex Jr. with 7 laps to go in the stage.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a soap opera star.
Gracious me, my car has storm damage and I've had to file a claim. Could it possibly...
Hey, I'm here. I am in chat with you guys right now. I am not able to be here live. I'm recording this Sunday night. So do me one favor, guys, huge favor. Hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever one. Get your feedback on this stream. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification whenever I come live. You guys can be here with me. Have an amazing Monday. We'll catch you in a minute.
Now at darlingtonraceway.com.
It will be a sprint to the green and white checkered flag with only 6 laps to go in stage number 2 from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second. The
1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
From the infield garages to the race shops, NASCAR Hot Pass is your all-access ticket to the latest news from the sport.
Well, we got them down, now we put our foot on them. And that's the attitude you got to have.
I don't think it's a move that can have any success at Martinsville. I still don't know why it worked.
Stay up to date with all of your favorite drivers all year long.
Get to the Final Four is what every driver in NASCAR's goals are.
NASCAR Hot Pass, weekday mornings from the Motor Racing Network.
Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, and Austin Dillon. Your top five. It will be a sprint to the green and white checkered flag, Alex Hayden, as there'll be 5 laps to go in the stage when they come back around.
Yeah, they will, and they just had the opportunity to choose what lane to restart in. Ross Chastain elects for the outside lane as the first to choose, the benefit of being the race leader. Kyle Busch was second to choose. He went to the inside of the front row. Then it's going to be Brad Keselowski and Ty Gibbs. It's just a matter of what you need points desperately. They've been falling down the point standings, and currently they were very close to being out of the cut line when this race started yesterday and had a bad handling race car. They're on the good side of things right now, but this is going to be something that they're going to try to hang on to and get these points.
Yeah, they're a plus 32 at the moment, meaning they're above the cut line by 32 points. That is one reason why you stay out. He's got an opportunity to score some more right here if he can close it out and get by Chastain, who's going to restart on the outside of the front row. Again, there'll be 5 laps to go when we go under the green flag, and Alex, that's about to happen right now.
They'll hit the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air, and Ross Chastain will get through the gearbox very well. He'll get a car length in front of second place Kyle Busch headed to turn 1.
Chastain, who came into this race right on the cut line, trying to make a stage point grab here, but he's got his hands full of Kyle Busch. Kyle goes to the bottom. He drives under Ross Chastain. He'll take the lead out of 2.
William Byron getting the shuffle backward now into 3-wide move, midway down the back straightaway. William Byron at the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Brad Keselowski up the middle. Ty Gibbs flying around side. It's Ty Gibbs who'll emerge in third.
Well, they are 3 wide right there, and here comes Truex all the way around the
Trouble turn 4. Kyle Larson gets turned around. He'll collect Bubba Wallace, and a whole pack of cars come piling in as well.
As they come off of turn number 4, Buescher involved. Joey Logano is involved. Kyle Larson, like Mike Bagley said, the front end torn to pieces on that Chevrolet. A number of cars involved. It looks like Christopher Bell is also involved as we go under the caution for the 4th time, an incident that broke out over in front of Mike Bagley.
It started when Kyle Larson came off the end of the back straightaway. He was in an intense pack of traffic. Hard to tell if there was contact between him and Bubba Wallace, maybe even another driver, but Kyle Larson got turned sideways, and when he went up the banking, Bubba was there, into the wall. Bubba went, and in the ensuing stacking up of traffic, at least a dozen other drivers involved as well.
Could have huge playoff implications, with Bubba Wallace being one of those drivers battling on the cut line, the other being Chris Buescher, who's taken his damaged car in front of Steve Post.
Yeah, Chris Buescher brings that car in. Right now they're doing a pretty good assessment of the car. From the left side of it, it does not look like much damage, but the hood is a little bit bowed up. They've assessed the race car, sent Chris Buescher down. It's a pretty good smudge on the left rear of that Ford Mustang for Chris Buescher as well.
So a number of cars involved in this. Obviously hard racing to try to close out the stage. Truex was 4 wide as he worked around the outside of the racetrack. He got by unscathed. And again, they went 4 wide right behind that. And that's where the trouble all broke out. That was 4 wide racing down the back straightaway and up and into the banking of turn number 3. Buescher, Larson, Logano, Bell, Gilliland, Briscoe, among those involved, and it almost looked like Kyle Larson just broke free. Looking at NASCAR TV, Todd, he did not appear to have any help, did he?
No, I think he just being aggressive right there and sliding up the hill. It looks like the rear end just kind of broke free. He's trying to drive through it, and it eventually came around, put him right in front of a lot of guys that just pitted.
Bubba Wallace has damaged McDonald's Toyotas on the pit lane, Chris.
Yeah, and right now Booty Barker is instructing the crew to check every square inch of this race car. Right now some bear bond being going on the front end of his Toyota. The front hood is jacked up just a little bit off the pins. Also, there's a massive donut on the driver's side door, and it's crushed in just a little bit, just above the exhaust port. So they're working on some bear bond, some cosmetic damage. They did check the alignment a little bit. Bubba reporting the steering is off, but right now just going to try to move some of the fenders out to prevent any tire rubs and try to salvage something here. But you guys mentioned it. This is not the day they needed, and Booty Barker this morning said, we have a race-winning race car. We need to make the right calls and not get caught up in something. Well, unfortunately, it just did. They're going to fire him back up, send him back out, and probably bring him back to put tires on his Toyota.
We gave you a list of the drivers involved, and I have a feeling that there's at least that many more that have some sort of minor damage to them. You know, I'm going to take you back to yesterday, Alex and Todd. It was Denny Hamlin, all by himself, up in turn number 4. No help, back end jumped around, and he spun the car. Nobody else was collected. And this time we see it coming, Alex, from Kyle Larson.
Yeah, it shows you that racing at these speeds in this type of tight pack is not easy. It's just simply tough to do as the air really rivets you around, and that turbulent air bounces the cars around, makes the back end light. Even one of the best on the planet in Kyle Larson had a hard time hanging on to the race car, and it went around, and that created all the chaos there. Postman, looks like Logano and Chris Buescher are back in.
Yeah, Chris Buescher's crew, I really like what they did there. What Scott Graves did is they came down, they just put tires on it and Sunoco fuel, and they snapped some pictures, and they took a really good look at the race car. I talked about the smudge on the left rear, and what I missed was a pretty good little ding on the left front as well, and that's where they're working. The splitter on the bottom side of the car has some damage on it, and crew members are over right now, and they are working with the, with some mallets first off, and then they've got some of that high-speed duct tape that they're going to get that splitter back up in proper alignment and proper position. About 2 pit boxes in front of them is Joey Logano. They are under the hood. They're not under the hood working on the engine. They're under the hood working on the nose of the car. You can see that it's been pushed back, and they set the car down. There is not a huge sense of urgency down here in Joey Logano's pits, which is usually not a good sign. They're putting the hood pin slowly back in the car. We're going to see if Joey heads out to the racetrack to go back to the garage, but it looks like Joey Logano, his day might be over as well.
All right, so here's who is involved. Kyle Larson, Briscoe, Buescher, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Daniel Hemrick, and Todd Gilliland. Those are the drivers that were involved off of turn number 4. Now, lost in all of this, the end of the stage in 1 lap, assuming he makes it all the way around, and no reason to think that he won't. It is Kyle Busch out front. Ross Chastain, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Austin Dillon, top 5 to close out the stage.
And that's big because of the move and the call for both Ross Chastain and Ty Gibbs to stay out there and not come to pit lane when everybody else did a moment ago. That means Chastain, who scored 1 point in stage number 1, will score 9 points here in stage 2. Came into the start of this race under the cut line, finds himself right now plus 24 to the cut line, and Ty Gibbs will find himself plus 39. The 2 drivers that are on the outside looking in, Jeff, are different.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace, who was above the cut line coming to Michigan, is not anymore. Bubba Wallace, 24 out. And Chris Buescher, who won here a year ago, finds himself 27 out. Kyle Busch, you talk about the stages, and Alex, your thoughts on this. He's going to obviously go out and try to get as many stage points as he can. But realistically, for Kyle Busch, it is win and get in or not. I mean, it just comes down to Michigan, Daytona, and Darlington is his last 3 shots. If Kyle Busch is going to race for a championship, it's going to be a matter of talking to him in victory lane over the course of the next 3 weeks.
I agree. And if you need somebody, the season has not been great for Kyle Busch. But if you need somebody to go out and try to win a race at an important time, there are a few that are better than Kyle Busch. As a matter of fact, Joey Logano is backing his Shell Pennzoil Ford down the pit lane. He's going to the garage area.
Green and white, checkered flag is in the air along with the caution flag. Stage 2 is over, and Kyle Busch has scored the Stage 2 win. He does so over Ross Chastain. Ty Gibbs was third. William Byron was fourth, and Austin Dillon was fifth. RCR cars go 1-5 here in stage number 2. Brad Keselowski was sixth across the line under the caution. Truex seventh. Eric Jones eighth. Cody Ware was ninth, and Ryan Blaney across the line in 10th. Stage 2 is complete.
And that look at the top 10 and who scored points in this stage is presented by Sunoco. From fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to land.
Hey, that's me. Hey, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, guys. Share with your family and friends. Thank you. KimbroNator.
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend had to earn their stripes. Every superstar had a dream.
It's been a fairy tale season.
Every home track is the start of something special.
That's just good old short track racing.
This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
The NASCAR Xfinity Series races here.
Green flag is in the air, and they're playing bumper cars already as they race off in turn 1 by a fender. It's Cole Custer.
All the exciting play-by-play and lap-by-lap action.
Austin Hill to the bottom. He'll go to second. Big block from top to bottom by Jeffy Lowe.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Shane Van Gisbergen up the front stretch. The New Zealander wins at Portland International Raceway.
From tickets, parking, and travel, race weekends can be stressful. Let Racing Electronics make communication easy. With a scanner and Easy Talk intercom system rental from Racing Electronics, you can effortlessly talk over the noise of the race. Hear uncensored driver and crew communication from every team in the race, or tune into the race broadcast with your favorite MRN announcers. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com today.
Welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. Pit lane is going to be open this time by Kyle Busch, the race leader. He's got Ross Chastain, Ty Gibbs, William Byron, and Austin Dillon on his back bumper. They'll come to the entrance of pit road. Kyle Busch will stay out. Second place, Ross Chastain will come in. He'll get routine service. That bright orange and white Busch Light Chevrolet. They'll go to the right side of that and change at least 2 Goodyear Eagles. Team will scamper to the left side of the race car. It will be a 4-tire change. Top it off with Sunoco fuel, and they'll get him back out on the racetrack as those going to be just some of the cars. Only one driver out of the top 10, everybody else from the back half of the field.
Yeah, only 5 cars electing to come to pit road, and none of the leaders other than Ross Chastain. Before we go back under the green flag, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Welcome to Michigan International Speedway as we continue the running of the FireKeepers Casino 400, just turning noon Eastern time on a Monday afternoon. No rain on the radar anywhere around, although it is like 67 degrees and the wind is gusting at just over 20 miles an hour. It is a cool fall, autumn feel-like day here. As we wrap things up, my name is Jeff Striegel. Alongside is Alex Hayden and Todd Gordon out in the turns today, like they were yesterday, under completely different conditions. Dave Moody and Mike Bagley, and on pit road, it is Steve Post and Chris Wilner. We just wrapped up stage number 2. Alex Hayden.
Yeah, we did, and we did it with a bang, literally, after Kyle Larson went for a spin up off of turn number 4. That triggered a multi-car crash coming back towards the start-finish line that wiped out a handful of cars. Kyle Larson will be out of the race. Christopher Bell will be out of the race, as will Todd Gilliland. He'll be out of the race. Joey Logano, also collateral damage in that. He, too, too much damage to continue.
When we do go back under the green flag, and that should be in a matter of 2 laps, it will be Kyle Busch at the front of the field. Kyle took the lead over just a handful of laps ago. As a matter of fact, he's led 16 laps so far this afternoon. Ty Gibbs, second. William Byron, Austin Dillon, and Brad Keselowski. That is your top 5. Martin Truex Jr. has been good. He's been very good. Right now he is 6th. In front of Eric Jones, who is 7th. Ryan Blaney, 8th. Alex Bowman, 9th. And Chase Elliott right now is scored in position number 10.
Rest of the top 20 will be 11th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 12th is Carson Hocevar. Ryan Preece is 13th and Noah Gragson 14th. 15th, Daniel Suarez. 16th is Zane Smith. 17th, Denny Hamlin. 18th, Tyler Reddick. 19th is Daniel Hemrick. And Ross Chastain, who just came to pit lane, is 20th.
Harrison Burton, 21st. Cody Ware, 22nd. He, too, just came to pit road. Cory LaJoie, 23rd. Josh Berry, 24th. Bubba Wallace caught up in that damage in that crash. He's 25th. And Chris Buescher is 26th. That's the last car in the lead lap. Justin Haley a lap down, 27th. Michael McDowell a lap down. Austin Cindric, 29th. And John Hunter Nemechek right now scored in position 30.
31st is Chase Briscoe. 32nd, A.J. Allmendinger. He'll be the last car still competing in 32nd, albeit 4 laps down. Out of the race again from 33rd on back, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Todd Gilliland.
You know, 3 Michigan drivers are in the field, and they're doing pretty well right now. Still a long way to go. Brad Keselowski running 5th. Eric Jones is 7th, and Carson Hocevar is running in position number 12. Let's just go back and revisit the importance for the driver up front to find victory lane. He's a champion, and he's trying to race for another championship. We'll talk more about Kyle in a moment. Let's go out to the Care Center and Chris Wilner. Chris?
Larson is out of the Care Center. Kyle, take us through what happened from your vantage point.
Yeah, I just messed up. You're trying to get all you can on restarts and stuff, and just was trying to funnel my way up the racetrack. I didn't want to get stuck on the bottom 3 wide again, and just got myself in an awkward aero spot and lost it. So, yeah, unfortunate. Just made a mistake and cost ourselves a lot of points today. So, just bummer day.
When you're out there, how much are you aware of what position you're in because of the way the air changes so much? Did you feel like there was any warning of where you were at before that went around?
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit warning like right before you start spinning, but once these next-gen cars step out, it's really hard to save it. So, just got a little too, I don't even know, greedy or whatever. But, I was just trying to do what I thought was going to be right to funnel my way up and just put myself in a bad spot.
All right, guys, that's Kyle Larson. He's out of the Care Center.
He talked about the points, a bad points day. He's battling for the regular season points championship. With that hit, he's currently now 27 points behind Chase Elliott, who's now the regular season point leader. Larson, don't worry, with his wins, will be in the playoffs. The field is coming to the Geico Restart Zone, presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
Got Chevrolets at the front of the field. William Byron on the inside. Race leader Kyle Busch electing to start outside row 1. A Ford and a Toyota make up row 2. Back under the green flag, lap 125. 25. William Byron, Kyle Busch in the field, head to one.
Side by side as they hit the 18-degree banking of turn number 1. They're 2 by 2 back through the top 15 or 20. Here they come for the lead. Kyle Busch by a nose in the outside lane.
They race wheel to wheel for the lead at the back straightaway, looking 3 wide further back. Martin Truex Jr. started that 3 wide line. That'll thin out to double wide racing. Here's Chase Elliott, though, on the move, rumbling out of the pocket, racing for a spot inside of the South Chair.
He does indeed. Chase Elliott with a fast race car trying to find the real estate he needs. Meanwhile, hard to look away from the top spot. Wheel to wheel for the race lead. Inside lane is William Byron. Top side is Kyle Busch.
They've run a full 2-mile lap, fender to fender here. It's William Byron by a nose on the inside. Kyle Busch trying to hang with him up high. He gets a little loose, drifts up. The lead goes to William Byron.
Kyle Busch falls back to second. They were side by side for third coming out of 2. Keselowski and Ty Gibbs there. That'll change. Here's Ryan Blaney to Keselowski's inside. 3 wide behind them with Elliott, Truex, and Austin Dillon.
Boy, it's on yet again here at Michigan. We'll get you right back to the track in a moment. First, a visit at the Care Center.
Well, the Grillo's Pickles machine of Todd Gilliland is out of the race. Todd, what happened in that last incident?
Yeah, I'm honestly not too sure. We were fighting for the lucky dog. I thought we were in a pretty good position. I ran to the bottom and into 3, kind of wrapped up, and I was trying to get up all the way back to the wall. I'm pretty sure I was just looking at my rearview camera. And then everybody wrecked right there. So, yeah, and like I said, I'm not really too sure. I was trying to get up in a hole, I feel like, and the next thing I knew, we were all in a wreck. So, just unfortunate. I thought we were just kind of clicking away. We had a tire issue, and then, just kind of got a little bit behind, and then ultimately got us in that position.
Great, glad you're all right. That's Todd Gilliland, guys.
Yeah, Todd Gilliland out of the race. We had a challenge and change for second. Ty Gibbs around Kyle Busch. Give Gibbs the number 2 spot.
Kyle now falling back slowly but surely into the clutches of Brad Keselowski. Then it's about 6 car lengths back to Ryan Blaney. Austin Dillon, he's feeling the heat now from Chase Elliott.
Speaking of Brad Keselowski, he'll change lanes off turn 2, start a run to the inside of Kyle Busch. Off the end of the backstretch, Keselowski with a good run. He'll drive it in deep, and he'll slide around Kyle and take third.
Right now, the top 3, a Chevrolet, a Toyota, and a Ford. The Chevrolet is William Byron, and he is feeling the heat. Here comes Ty Gibbs in the Toyota.
The Monster Energy Toyota all over the back bumper of William Byron. On entry into turn 1. Byron goes about 2 grooves up off the bottom. Ty will grab a handful of steering wheel. He'll look to the inside as they race to the back straightaway.
Couldn't find the real estate he needed to initiate or complete the pass. Instead, he'll follow Byron up the back straightaway. 2-car breakaway for the point as they continue to shuffle it up further back. William Byron right now just trying to see Ty Gibbs in the rearview mirror.
Ty Gibbs went from the bottom. He went to the top trying to get some air on the nose of that black Toyota. He's been able to do just that. He's hanging right on the back bumper of the race leader, William Byron. Looks like he's going to dart out of line in turn 1.
Ty's strategy seems to be to go wherever William Byron isn't, trying to get that clean air across the nose of his Toyota. Hasn't been able to make a run at him this time through. He'll follow single file off to the backstretch.
Matter of fact, Ty will lose about a car length coming off the corner, so William Byron will leg it out there. In third, you've got Brad Keselowski riding by himself, but then you've got a stacking up of traffic from fourth on back. That's about 7 cars deep.
That is Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon. Truex is there, and Truex is on the move off 4. He will dial up the low lane. He will drive, looking for his very first career win. That would be big. The driver in third, Brad Keselowski. Home state driver, home track, has never won here. That would be big for him. Eric Jones in the top 10, also looking to win here at his home track. There's a lot of storylines developing here as this race begins to wind down.
There is, and the Ty Gibbs and the different calls that they've made, Steve Post. Ty Gibbs making his 75th career NASCAR Cup Series start today.
Yeah, and doing a really, really good job. They are in a really interesting spot. They want Ty to get the lead, okay? And so they're talking about setting him up, think about momentum, thinking about exiting, what you got to do, because you get one shot to clear the pass. You can't be running side by side. The problem they have is they pitted on lap 1. 1:02. That means they need to go 98 laps with one stop. That puts them on the outside edge of the fuel window. Now, we had the caution when Larson, and we had the caution for the stage break, so that all kind of wrapped in and wound together. That certainly helped them. So the message on the radio, save fuel and go fast. That's what Ty Gibbs is doing here in his 75th start, trying to get that career first win.
You know, crew chiefs, Alex, you either love them or you hate them. Todd, I'm kidding. What are you going to do with your driver out there? It looked like he had a clear shot to drive by William Byron right over in front of Mike Bagley. Did he elect not to do it because he's going to just try to ride behind Byron and save fuel?
Well, it's tough here. You've got to have enough of a momentum to actually clear the car. If it gets you beside him on the bottom, he's going to roll by you on the top, and it puts you in a position, if you're side-by-side through the corner, to really pull that third-place car, give him a draft up to you. So you got to be calculated.
On the back straightaway. Cory LaJoie upside down, slides his way towards the feet of Mike Bagley.
Right now the car does a barrel roll. He was on his roof. Now as he hits the grass, the car will roll over on all four wheels. Solo car incident. Safety crews immediately on the scene to tend to Cory LaJoie, who just went over on the backstretch here in Michigan.
A spectacular crash here puts us under the caution flag, our 5th of the afternoon. Alex, you and I simply looked up and we could see the car tumbling down the back straightaway. The window net down, we see Cory moving around inside that race car. More on that from Mike Bagley in a moment. First, though, let's hear from Joey Logano.
Yeah, Joey's the last to be released from the care center in that most previous incident. I know, Arrow, it's difficult back there, but what did you feel and what led to your early ending day today?
Well, we had that right rear go flat right before that, which put us back there down a lap, and then just I think the 5 spun out in front of me, and then it kind of just caused we're all on a big wad and caused a Daytona type crash. So nowhere to really go. I got on the brakes and couldn't really steer left, so I just committed to maybe if I just slow it down enough, I can center punch him and it wouldn't be that bad. That was kind of my only option there. So unfortunately got knocked out a little bit early. We're kind of fighting for probably a top 10. We weren't that great, but we could have top 10'd it out of here. Especially with all these wrecks now, you probably definitely could have maybe even gotten a top 5, but we move on.
All right, that's Joey Logano, guys, done for the day.
Yeah, tough break for Joey Logano after a myriad of events took place in a short amount of time. Now, Mike Bagley, Cory LaJoie, after the wild flip down the backstretch, has come to a rest down there towards you.
He has, and the good news is Cory is out of the car, but as you can imagine, was quite winded. Took a moment to collect himself and collect his thoughts, walked under his own power to the ambulance, which is obviously the mode of transportation that will take him to the infield care center. But right now the crews are tending to the race car. The wrecker is there. They have just attached the wrecker to the car, and we'll tow that back to the NASCAR Cup Series garage.
All right, so off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, he was closing in on the back end of Noah Gragson. He made a aggressive move, perhaps, to dive down to the inside on Noah. He didn't clear him. He clipped the right front of Cory's car to the back left of Noah's car, and Cory then went into the slide. That car got upside down, slid on the roof of that race car several hundred yards before flipping one time in the grass. Cory out of the race car. He is okay. 137 laps complete. 63 to go. It's William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, top 3.
Hey, Dave, we need your truck to help us haul our camp.
Hey, I'm here. I am in chat with you guys right now. I am not able to be here live. I'm recording this Sunday night. So do me one favor, guys, huge favor. Hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever one. Get your feedback on this stream. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification whenever I come live. You guys can be here with me. Have an amazing Monday. We'll catch you in a minute.
Keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lap 138. Pit road is open. A number of cars are making their stops. Steve Post for an update.
Yeah, it looked like we had about 50% of the cars, and one thing a lot of these cars have in common is they're wounded or have struggled on handling of the race cars. Denny Hamlin was in, Chris Buescher was in, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece was in getting service. They're working on the John Hunter Nemechek down here car as well, working on Bubba Wallace's car further down pit road. The reason that a lot of these cars is they just want to continue to make these cars better. This is not within the fuel window to the end and not close enough where anyone would even stretch it. So these drivers and teams willing to give up this track position now, knowing that everybody still has to make one stop.
Talking about that whole piece and where this is, as you said, 62 laps to go. What this does set you up for is the guys that stayed out here are going to have to wait on gas when they come to make their final pit stop. This puts you in a position where you can just get 4 tires. You'll get enough fuel in. You've put enough fuel in here to make it where you only have to take that 1 can, what you can get in a 9.5-second pit stop.
62 laps to go. William Byron leads Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You crave power. You bleed speed. You live for the roar of the crowd and the taste of victory. But your ride is holding you back. Ignite your engine's soul with E3 spark plugs. The same spark that fuels NASCAR champions unleashes explosive power in your ride. Don't just dream of speed. Make it your reality. Find E3 at your nearest auto parts store. E3 spark plugs. E3, what are you running?
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
As of yet, after rain came in yesterday, Jeff, and forced us a delay to this morning. Fired the engines just a couple of minutes before 11 a.m. Eastern. Green flag went in the air about 11:05 Eastern. This has been a wild one so far.
It really has. It's been a great race so far, and I think the best is still to come with 60 laps to go when they come by. You know, when you take a look at the race leaders, Kyle Larson, he's led 41. He's out of the event. Martin Truex Jr. has led 28. He's ready to go from 6th. Kyle Busch has led 19 circuits so far. Ryan Blaney, 15. William Byron, who's the current race leader, has led 14. I'm interested in this whole deal with Ty Gibbs right now. It appears that he has perhaps the quickest car on the racetrack, but if you're trying to save fuel, I guess the last place you want your car is out front.
No, you're correct. You're correct. But you just got a caution that bought you a couple laps. This will buy you a couple laps of fuel. We've been, you figure every 2 laps of caution you run buys you a lap of green flag running at the end. So this bought them a little bit. I'm sure they want to get them out front and see what their balance is out front.
So as they made their choice on what lane to restart in, William Byron is one of those drivers that, we talked with his crew chief, Rudy Fugle, yesterday morning down in the NASCAR Cup Series garage. His strategy was, I want to spend the least amount of time on pit road on my very last pit stop. So they're getting themselves in position now. There'll be 59 laps to go in this race, and everybody will still have to make at least one more scheduled stop.
William Byron electing to start. Alex, outside row 1, Ty Gibbs could have tucked in underneath of William Byron, but he elected, because of the choose option, to start behind William Byron, and that means Brad Keselowski's got a shot to lead here as he'll start inside row number 1. Then you've got Ryan Blaney back there, Chase Elliott, Truex. This is going to be good now. 59 laps to go. Time for a Geico restart.
As they make their way into the Geico restart zone, William Byron, the control car, waits till late in the zone to go. Brad Keselowski will go to the whip on that Mustang dark horse on the bottom of the racetrack.
Side by side into the banking of turn number 1. Byron in the high lane has got about a half a car length. Oh, Keselowski drifts up the banking, nearly gets into Byron. Opens the door down low. Chase Elliott will slide through for the lead.
Chase Elliott will blow them both away. Elliott back to the point here at Michigan. Still side by side for
at Michigan. William Byron second, Brad Keselowski third, and Ty Gibbs is on the move.
Gibbs in the number 4 spot, all over the back bumper of Brad Keselowski into turn number 1. Right behind him comes Tyler Reddick. Ross Chastain right
off the end of the back straightaway. Brad, fender out in front. He'll slide through. He'll grab second.
He will slide right in between Hendrick teammates with Chase Elliott out front, William Byron third, and Brad Keselowski right now second. You know he wants to pick up one more spot and lead the final 55 laps here. So it's Elliott, Keselowski, Byron, Gibbs, and Tyler Reddick. That is your top 5. Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. battling for 6th. Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, and Chris Buescher. So another good day for RFK here at Michigan, running 2:10.
Yeah, they are. With even though Chris Buescher got swept up in that multi-car crash, a little damage to the nose of his Ford Mustang Dark Horse, they've been able to get that patched up fairly well, and the defending winner of this race back in the number 10 position. So credit his crew chief Scott Graves and that entire team for getting the car back as aerodynamically as sound as they possibly can.
Hendrick Chevrolet out front, Chase Elliott, RFK Ford, Brad Keselowski is second. Another Hendrick Chevrolet is third, and William Byron, Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota of Ty Gibbs running 4th. Then you have the 2311 Toyota of Tyler Reddick, and then you've got a Penske car running in position number 6, a number of organizations being represented, and the Heritage Cup is up for grabs. Right now, Chevy, Ford, Chevy, and Toyota. Once again, a reminder how important that Heritage Cup is. We'll talk to Todd Gordon about that in a moment. Right now, after a wild ride down the back straightaway, let's visit with Cory LaJoie.
The good news, Jeff, he's out of the care center. Okay, Cory, first off, how are you feeling? What's it like going upside down here at 180, 90 miles an hour?
Yeah, it sucks. It hurts. You're flopping around. You don't know if you're going to hit something really hard. But, you know, the cars are safe. Seats are safe. We got good belts. Misjudged the side draft there, and it got on the stops and swapped ends on me. That's how the year's gone for us and myself. I hate it for our gardening truck and our Spire Motorsports guys. Man, just took a good car there and turned on its roof.
When you're racing the 10, how hard is it to get off of them? I saw you coming off of turn 2. It's really hard with the aero.
Well, you're trying to pack air on them. You're trying to formulate runs. You know, he closed the door pretty late on me a couple of different times, and I was trying to get by him and just misjudged it and wrecked.
Glad you're okay. That's Cory LaJoie, guys, out of the care center after going upside down here at Michigan.
Tough break for Cory LaJoie, a driver that is still searching for a ride in his immediate future at the season's end. Now, Jeff mentioned the Heritage Cup. Todd Gordon, you've had your hand on that Heritage Cup and have the opportunity to win.
Yeah, really a cool opportunity here. This is Ford and Chevrolet's backyard, and thus they've got a trophy for the manufacturers, and it's pretty coveted. I know Edsel Ford would always tell me that we need to bring that home and encourage us to get that trophy back in their headquarters. Really bragging rights for these 3 OEMs, and it's backyards for Chevrolet and Ford, but Toyota would love nothing better than to win in their backyard.
How about this? It's Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota. 1, 2, 3 at Michigan. William Byron passed by Ty Gibbs. William Byron passed by Tyler Reddick. Byron right now 5th. As a matter of fact, Alex, here on lap 150 down, 50 to go. Let's take a look at where everybody is running at the moment. Presented by Hands Free, Skechers, slip-ins. No bending down, no touching your shoes. Just step in and go with hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Chase Elliott is the race leader with 50 laps to go. Brad Keselowski is second. Ty Gibbs goes third and Tyler Reddick fourth. William Byron rounds out the top 5. Ryan Blaney is 6th. Martin Truex Jr. goes 7th. Kyle Busch is 8th. Chris Buescher 9th. And Daniel Suarez 10th.
Ross Chastain is 11th. Alex Bowman is 12th. Carson Hocevar 13th. And Noah Gragson is 14th. 15th is Austin Dillon. 16th is Eric Jones. Denny Hamlin, 17th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 18th. Zane Smith, 19th. And Ryan Preece is 20th.
21st is Harrison Burton. 22nd is Josh Berry. Cody Ware goes 23rd with Daniel Hemrick 24th. Michael McDowell 25th. And Bubba Wallace is 26th. He is the last car on the lead lap with a damaged race car. 27th is Justin Haley. 28th, Austin Cindric. 29th, John Hunter Nemechek. And 30th, A.J. Allmendinger.
31st is Chase Briscoe out of the race. 32nd, Cory LaJoie. 33rd, Joey Logano out of the race. 34th, Kyle Larson. 35th, Christopher Bell. Todd Gilliland, 36th. Chase Elliott leads on lap 151. And Alex Hayden, a look up into the banking, the north end of the racetrack, and we have got a good battle from second on back.
Yeah, we do. Brad Keselowski's got a mirror full right now of Ty Gibbs, who in turn has those golden arches of Tyler Reddick on his back bumper with 48 laps to go. So, Todd Gordon, ideally, when would you like to bring your car to pit road for the last time?
I think I'd like to be around lap 170. Split this run from where we were in half to the end and take advantage of the tires I'm going to put on for the last 30 laps.
Toyota, Ford, battle for second, make it a three-way battle headed to the bagman.
Here comes Ty Gibbs to the inside of Brad Keselowski. He'll make the pass, and he'll bring Tyler Reddick along for the ride as well.
As they make their way off turn 4, here is William Byron off the racetrack. Byron in the Raptor Chevrolet gets it down to 55 miles per hour with 46 laps to go in the race. Chris Wilner, here comes Byron.
Lap 153. This is one of the strategy of the cars that pitted last on lap 112. It's Rudy Fugel's call. They bring him in. It's a 4-tire change for William Byron. They're packing it full of fuel to get him to the end. Solid stop, waiting on the fuel. He's down and away for William Byron.
What about the others now? As the window has opened, the door is open, however you want to look at it, that one last trip, perhaps, to pit road before we see the black and white checkered flag. It's Elliott, Gibbs, Reddick, Keselowski, and Blaney, top 5. Nobody coming to pit road this time. The leaders are back in 1.
Here they come into the banking of turn number 1, and the battle is on for the number 2 position. Tyler Reddick has railed in Ty Gibbs. Both of them running about 8 car lengths behind Elliott for the lead.
And behind them, about 6 car lengths, will be Brad Keselowski. That will change, though, as William Byron, as he exits pit road, tries to slide up in front of Keselowski, but will follow Brad off the end of the back straightaway.
William Byron now 1 lap down. He and Justin Haley are the only cars on a 1 lap down lap to themselves. So if a caution should come out right now, Byron would be in the position to get the pass. Now, I would imagine, Jeff, that they're just simply hoping that their cycle goes green the entire way now.
Yeah, you got to believe that that's what he's looking for, as he's tucked in comfortably right behind Brad Keselowski. Todd, I know you've got the calculator burning. What are you trying to figure out?
Well, this is like for William Byron here. They last were on pit road lap 112. A lot of these guys came at 138. So the guys that came earlier and stayed out through that 138 cycle, they're going to have to come to pit road here.
Here comes Martin Truex Jr., it looks like, is going to peel off the racetrack. He'll bring his car to James Small and the rest of that team. They got the blue colors on board with the auto insurance on the side of the race car. Chris Wilner is there.
James Small making the call to bring down Martin Truex Jr. again. Last pitted lap 112. They're going to fill it with fuel. It's a 4-tire change. He said, the rear tires felt like they're gone. I need help in 3 and 4. He's He's already down and away.
So Truex will rejoin the field as Chase Elliott paces the field, but the top 5 make that the top 4 running right together. William Byron's just going to try to unlap himself and do it the hard way by driving right by the race leaders. Chase Elliott is the race leader, but he's got company in the form of Ty Gibbs, and he's on the move.
Just a couple of laps ago, Chase Elliott had a 6 or 7 car length advantage. That is gone now. Ty Gibbs is right there. Then the lap car of William Byron. 3 car lengths back to Reddick.
William Byron, that lap car, pulls to the inside of Ty Gibbs up the back straightaway. To Jeff's point, maybe trying to unlap himself with no aid of a caution flag. Will he be? Bottom of the racetrack. He'll pass Ty Gibbs and go after his teammate, Chase Elliott.
Their other teammate, Alex Bowman, is on the pit lane getting routine service. The 4th Hendrick car out of the race. That's Kyle Larson after spinning and causing a big crash off turn number 4. The battle for the race lead in turn 1.
The battle for lead lap status for William Byron is foremost. He is the first man on the back bumper of Chase Elliott now. Then it's just a car length back to Ty Gibbs, who I think would allow Byron to make a hole for it.
Yeah, Byron right now has wedged himself between Elliott and Gibbs. That's the battle for second. Tyler Reddick, 2 cars behind that. 2 car lengths, that is. Here's Willie B again. Bottom of the racetrack in 4.
And back on the lead lap, Mike Bagley. William Byron by Elliott off 4. William Byron back on the lead lap. Elliott shows the way. You got Ty Gibbs second, but for how long? Here comes Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick to the bottom of the racetrack. Dive bombs underneath the Ty Gibbs automobile. Coasts up the banking. Try to hold it down in turn 2. He'll get it done and take the position.
The Toyota swapping spots right there. Tyler Reddick completing the pass. He'll go to the number 2 position, and that is 4 car lengths. Now make it 3 behind Chase Elliott, who follows the lap car of William Byron.
As they make their way off turn number 4, will anybody else elect to come to pit lane from the front of the field? Looks like everybody's going to stay on the track for the most part. A little further back, cars begin to scatter as they work around the damaged, slower, and lapped car of Chase Briscoe. Getting down to it now, Jeff. 40 laps to go.
Watching that ongoing battle for second. Will come off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Tyler Reddick is the man on the move, and he wants the lead.
Here he comes. He'll punch a hole to the inside out of turn number 2. His McDonald's Toyota next to the Napa Chevrolet of Chase Elliott. Reddick, bottom of the racetrack, and he'll go to the point at lap 161.
Here comes Ty Gibbs, the 3rd place car off the pace and headed to pit lane. So is Brad Keselowski. A late decision by Keselowski. They both get their cars down to 55 miles an hour. Let's follow the Ty Gibbs car as he makes his way down in front of Steve Post.
Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski separated by 2 pit boxes. Gibbs, the first one to crank it to the left. The monster Toyota go around to the right side. This is going to be about getting all the fuel in to these race cars to make it to the end. 2 pit boxes ahead. Here's Brad Keselowski. Both stops looking really, really good. Cars drop simultaneously, and as a matter of fact, they're still side by side. Gibbs with a little momentum going to drive around Brad Keselowski, but they are headed back to the speedway.
Now the race leaders are in. Tyler Reddick is on pit road. So is Chase Elliott. So is Ryan Blaney. Let's follow the stop of the leader, Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick brings his McDonald's Toyota down all the way to the turn 1 end of pit road. Reddick going to go with 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. Chase Elliott is in. They're already engaged a chassis adjustment on the Napa Chevrolet. Back to Tyler Reddick. They're around to the left side right now, making sure they've got all the right amount of fuel into the car. Let's see how they go off from pit road. Looks like Chase Elliott's going to be the fastest of these 2. Chris Wilner, we also saw Ryan Blaney in.
That's right. Crew high-fiving after our solid 4-tire stop for Ryan Blaney. He did say coming down pit road they were chattering the tires, but with 39 laps to go, they had just enough to do a 4-tire change, and they left on the jack. Ryan Blaney down and away for the final time.
And those should be the final scheduled pit stops for those particular drivers. There's still others out there that are yet to make a stop. The current race leader with 37 laps to go is Kyle Busch.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
He's out here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak. Down to 35 laps to go. Change for the second spot. Ross Chastain by Chris Buescher. They both follow race leader currently, Kyle Busch. The Xfinity fastest lap of the race has been run by Kyle Busch. He turned a lap at 191.164 miles per hour. Xfinity keeps NASCAR fans in the zone with ultra-low lag and connection you can rely on. Stream NASCAR from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because you only live once. Learn more at Xfinity.com. From Michigan International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for a weekly motorsports podcast to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Daytona always brings the drama.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This is Kyle Larson. You're tuned in to the excitement of the NASCAR Cup Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Now back to the race.
Lap 167 on the board. A couple of more drivers opted to come to pit lane, including race leader at the time, Kyle Busch.
That's right, Alex. Randall Burnett came on the radio about several laps ago and said, we're about 10 laps short. Let's do it now. They did 2 tires only for Kyle Busch and just topped it off with Sunoco fuel. Ross Chastain was also in. After pitting on last lap, on lap 138, they made a 4-tire change and topped it off with Sunoco fuel.
But we're waiting for more, Chris and Steve, and they'll be coming soon. Daniel Suarez has assumed the race lead at the moment over Carson Hocevar. Carson's teammate Zane Smith, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Harrison Burton, Eric Jones, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, they all have to come to pit road. The first driver on the racetrack right now, as you go down and take a look at it, you would think that it would be Austin Dillon. Now, that has to cycle around, so that we got to wait for. But, we've got some cars that need to come to pit road. Then we'll be back at it to wrap it all up here this afternoon.
The one that should cycle back around if we stay under green as the race leader would be Kyle Busch. He got off the pit lane and back on the track, but he's right in front of William Byron. He's right in front of Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick. Currently on the scoreboard, they are from 14th on back.
Yeah, so right now, the ones we're watching, Busch, Byron, Elliott, Reddick, Truex, and Gibbs, they go 14 through 19. Because we still have all of those drivers in front of them that still have to come to pit road. Todd, what's your strategy right now if you're Suarez, Hocevar, Stenhouse? What are you trying to accomplish?
I think you're running to the point where you feel like you can split your tires. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the next 10 laps, but you could also see him try to go long and just end up with a splash of fuel at the end. Stopping at 138. Kyle Busch was the first of the guys really to come to pit road of the guys that came at 138. That allowed them to put 2 tires because they got the gas at 138. They didn't need to wait on gas here. Did a 2-tire call, cycled themselves in front of the guys that came already before them.
So Daniel Suarez at the moment is the race leader. He's our 12th different driver to lead this race and the 19th lead change overall. It's been a competitive race at the front of the field. Sprinkle in the green flag pit stops. That's going to add into things as well.
We need to follow this battle for 12th on back because it will cycle around and be the race lead at some point. Kyle Busch right now is 12th, and he's in turn number 1, and he's got company.
Well, he's about to get company. Tyler Reddick making his way around the William Byron machine. Byron is kind of in the middle of that mix as well. Kyle Busch with about an 8-car length lead.
Right now he's out in front all by himself, speaking of Kyle Busch, but Tyler Reddick just bypassed William Byron. He has also bypassed Chase Elliott. Tyler Reddick has those McDonald's sails in the wind out of 4.
He absolutely does. The Heritage Cup is on the line. Again, Toyota not based here in the Detroit, Michigan area like Ford and Chevrolet. Dave, they would like nothing more than to come into their sandbox and steal their pail.
No question about it. It's home turf for Chevrolet, home turf for Ford, which means Toyota would love to deny them in their own backyard. And Mike Bagley, everybody's got somebody in the mix for that Heritage Cup.
Kyle Busch's 8-car length lead is gone, or 8-car length advantage for this position is gone that we're describing. Tyler Reddick has tracked him down and now begins to apply pressure.
So again, this is a battle that is well outside of the top 10. You've got Daniel Suarez and Carson Hocevar running right together on the racetrack. Carson trying to do something here at Michigan he's never done before, and that is to lead the event, and he is going to do it right now. Off of turn number 4, Carson Hocevar comes across the line. He leads at Michigan. Daniel Suarez right now is on pit road, but again, we need to wait and wait this out, do we not, Alex?
We do, but the advantage for some of these drivers, as Todd pointed out a moment ago, they don't have to wait as long on pit road for Sunoco fuel the longer they run.
Well, we'll see what happens here, because here comes Kyle Busch. That really becomes the measuring tool right now. He comes across the start-finish line as Daniel Suarez wraps up a very quick stop, but Moody, Kyle Busch and others are long gone.
Yeah, hey, Kyle Busch right now is wearing Tyler Reddick. They exit out onto the back straightaway. That will eventually be the battle for the number 1 spot.
Watching Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, they have broken away from the others, including William Byron and Chase Elliott. And right now, Tyler Reddick just follows Kyle off the end of the back straightaway, changes lanes to the inside of Kyle Busch. Reddick goes.
Reddick at the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Busch goes topside. A Toyota to the inside of a Chevrolet. They're going to stay wheel to wheel past the start-finish line. Kyle Busch doing a masterful job side drafting down the front stretch.
The 2024 season has not been one to write home about so far for Kyle Busch, but he's given it everything he's got right now. Reddick on the inside, too strong. He'll power by and take the spot.
And they'll pull away from a car length in the process, and that allows William Byron to catch up to Kyle Busch. Here's William Byron, going to look to the inside in 3. Kyle tries to throw the block, can't do it. Byron will open up that inside line.
Boy, William Byron is strong, as he will just drive down to the inside of Kyle Busch and say, goodbye, I'll take the spot. And now William will set his sights on Tyler Reddick. But just as a reminder, Tyler Reddick is 13th. We still have 12 cars that have to come to pit road, including Carson Hocevar.
Time now with 27 laps to go for a mid-race update brought to you by Pfizer.
Right now we are working lap number 173. We have 27 laps remaining. Carson Hocevar coming to pit road right now. He is one of 12 that still have to pit before we see the black and white checkered flag. Among them, Hocevar and Suarez, Stenhouse and Harrison Burton, Eric Jones among them. We've already had a number of people stop, including Tyler Reddick, who is running 13th, and Kyle Busch and William Byron. So we'll see how that all plays out. Right now we are working lap 177. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is being shown as the race leader as we're seeing these green flag stops continue. So a handful of drivers still have to come to pit road. That's the bottom line. And when they do, it should cycle around for Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick currently being scored in the number 10 position. That will change as another car is peeled off the racetrack. Currently, as they said, in the top 10, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the leader. Harrison Burton is second. Eric Jones is third. Josh Josh Berry is 4th, Daniel Hemrick 5th, Cody Ware is 6th, Michael McDowell is 7th, and then you get to Tyler Reddick, who is 8th, William Byron 9th, and Kyle Busch 10th.
A quick look at the rest of the top 20 as they run. Chase Elliott outside of the top 10, he's 11th. Ty Gibbs has been strong all day, he's 12th. Martin Truex Jr. 13th. Brad Keselowski 14th. They're all going to shuffle up the leaderboard here in just a moment. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, and Carson Hocevar. That completes the top 20. But again, these drivers are going to be moving up the leaderboard in a hurry.
They are, because current leader Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just wrapped up a 2-tire change. He's headed back out on the racetrack, so that'll turn the lead over to Harrison Burton now, who still has to pit. Then there's Josh Berry, Daniel Hemrick, Cody Ware, Michael McDowell, all still have to make at least one more pit stop in this event, or I should say one more scheduled stop in this event.
All right, let's find out when they do come. Harrison Burton, Josh Berry, Hemrick, and those others that you just mentioned. Let's take a trip to pit road and find out. Presented by Harbor Freight. Hardworking tools at hardworking prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight. Steve Post, what do you think?
Well, I think we're probably 5 or 6 laps out. The only driver that I have remaining out there is Cody Ware, and that seems to be what they're looking at now, and it's just hanging on. I think the point that Todd Gordon made was a great point. Carson Hocevar, he wasn't on pit road in this pit box very long. Right side tires and just a splash of fuel. Maybe not a race-winning strategy, but a good finish strategy. Looking up into the pit road, Chris, I'm not sure what the strategies are, but I think you have a couple of them in front of you now.
Daniel Hemrick is on pit road. He led a couple laps earlier, trying to stay out as long as they could. The calls to come down and put just 2 tires on. We're waiting on Harrison Burton and listening to Jeremy Bullins. They're trying to bank on a caution, but I would expect in about 4 laps is about as much as they can go. They were able to save a little bit more since their last pit stop so they could stretch it, but clearly not going to make it. But Harrison leading here, some valuable laps, looking for a good finish.
If a deck of cards consisted of the top 10, they are shuffling them up right now as Ty Gibbs has just gone by Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott. Elliott falling back down the leaderboard. Truex trying to get by him. He'll be able to do that. Now Brad Keselowski will line up on the left rear of the Chase Elliott car. And Chase Elliott, Dave, in jeopardy of losing 3 spots.
Yeah, Elliott on the backslide right now. No question about that. He's running about 2, maybe now 3 grooves up off the bottom. That car not turning the way he'd like it to do. And here comes Brad Keselowski to the inside.
Inside lane open for Brad K, and that's exactly where he goes. That Ford and Chevy battle side by side. Keselowski fender out in front. Elliott's going to crowd in for just a moment, trying to stay up alongside Keselowski's Ford Mustang.
That is the battle right now for 9th as we wait for 3 cars to come to pit road. Harrison Burton, Josh Berry, and Michael McDowell. Tyler Reddick is 5th, or make that 4th. Then you get that Busch, Gibbs, Truex, that good battle between Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski.
Here comes Ty Gibbs to the bottom. He's going to make a move now on the Kyle Busch machine. Gibbs on the surge. He'll go to the inside.
He will make his way to the inside of Kyle Busch, halfway down the back straightaway. Gibbs has a shallow entry coming into the corner. He'll make the most of it, drive it in deep and sweep around Kyle.
He will as he makes that pass complete. By the way, the charge and for Tyler Reddick, currently the race leader, what he's been able to do as of late in the regular season point standings, he is 2 points now behind regular season points leader Chase Elliott. Elliott going the wrong way on the leaderboard. Reddick, he can't get any higher. He's P1.
And right now he is driving away from William Byron. Reddick right now is officially scored 2nd, Byron 3rd, waiting on Josh Berry to bring his Ford onto pit road. But Tyler Reddick will assume this race lead if nothing changes and Berry comes to pit road. But right now, Dave Moody, Tyler Reddick, and William Byron, that advantage for Tyler over William beginning to grow.
It's a big one right now. Probably 2.5 seconds over William Byron. The guy I've been watching, Jeff, we haven't been talking about him much today, and when we have, it hasn't been very positive. Denny Hamlin with that solo spin earlier, a car that at one point Chris Gabehart said was a 60% race car. He's flirting Mike Bagley with a top 10 finish.
And he's got Ryan Blaney right behind him. He sits 2 car lengths off the bow of Blaney. Here's Blaney Going to try to sneak a beat to the inside, but he'll find no room to race.
No, he can't, and Denny Hamlin is currently scored in the number 10 spot. So, Dave, to your point, that team is just soldiered on, head down, grinding it out here in Michigan.
Every time he's come to pit road, they've gone to work on that machine and made it a little bit better. There haven't been any astronomical gains, but he's gotten a little bit better every time he's on pit road as he tries to salvage what could have been a disastrous afternoon.
He had been able to rebound now ever since that spin from yesterday, and he finds himself right now in the top 10, unchallenged by Ryan Blaney, who follows Hamlin 3 car lengths in arrears.
Well, Denny's going to move up one more spot here momentarily. Josh Berry expected to pit here in another lap and a half. That will turn the lead over officially to Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Ty Gibbs. That will become your top 3. We're winding this thing down. 12 to go in the Irish Hills next time by.
Yeah, it has, and Tyler Reddick has got a commanding advantage. About a second and a half is his lead right now over William Byron, with the current race leader Josh Berry peeling off the racetrack and coming to pit lane.
You know, as you were just saying that and I was looking out the window at this advantage, this is the biggest advantage we've seen by the race leader all yesterday and today long. Tyler Reddick out front by 2 seconds over William Byron, 12 to go. Let's give you a full field rundown quickly, presented by Progressive Insurance. Insurance for motorcycles, boats, and RVs for protection on the road and on the water. See how much you can save it. 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. A look at the leaderboard on lap 188, brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Tyler Reddick leads. William Byron is second, and Ty Gibbs goes third. Kyle Busch is fourth. Martin Truex Jr. is currently fifth. The rest of the top 10 will see Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney.
11 through 15 is Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain. Then you get Carson Hocevar, Chris Buescher, and Josh Berry, who is yet to cycle around. 16th is Zane Smith, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. right now running in position number 18. Harrison Burton 19th, and Eric Jones is 20th.
Running 21st is, well, that's going to change. Josh Berry just coming off the pit lane. He'll be 21st at the moment. Daniel Hemrick 22nd, Ryan Preece 23rd, Noah Gragson 24th. Bubba Wallace will give up 25th. Come to pit lane, Bubba will fall way down the leaderboard. Then you've got Cody Ware, Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, John Hunter Nemechek, and A.J. Allmendinger.
And the rest of the cars are parked for the afternoon. Chase Briscoe 31st, Cory LaJoie, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Todd Gilliland. Some big names out of this event. As we get down to it, there are 190 down, 10 to go. Tyler Reddick trying to drive away and seal the deal here this afternoon. He is looking to cash in the FireKeepers Casino 400. Tyler Reddick across the line. William Byron, Ty Gibbs, top 3. They're headed your way, Dave.
Tyler Reddick trying to drive away and succeeding in doing so. By far the biggest lead we've seen this afternoon. It's a good gap back to Byron and another 15 back now to Ty Gibbs, who rides third.
This day did not start all the best for Tyler Reddick. He was up and down the leaderboard, but they have made adjustments on that car, and they have been incredibly good. Right now, Tyler Reddick just blowing them all out of the water right now at Michigan.
He is, and he has run a very conservative line. Not too low on the racetrack, not too high coming off turn 4. Keeps his right foot firmly planted on the loud pedal back to turn 1.
Tyler Reddick into the banking of turn number 1. This time he's going to run a little higher than he has the last couple. He's got the benefit of space and time, searching around a little bit, maybe for something that is a little bit faster.
He is not being pressured for a position, nor is he pressuring a car to make them a lap down. He is all by himself on the racetrack. Tyler Reddick, one groove off the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4.
Fastest car on the racetrack right now is the driver running third, and that is Ty Gibbs. He's trying to run down William Byron. That's a good 2-car battle. Well back and forth is Truex. Busch and Keselowski have a good battle going on, but let's pick up William Byron and Ty Gibbs.
Gibbs is closed in now to 3, made maybe 4 car lengths behind the William Byron machine, running about a half a groove higher on the banking than Byron as he tries to reel him in.
Right now on the back straightaway, here comes Ty Gibbs. He's trying to reel in the William Byron car. He'll trail him by 2 car lengths off the end of the back straightaway. Both drivers enter on the higher reaches of 3, but then dive it down to the bottom of the racetrack in the apex of the corner.
Finish is coming up just 6 laps away. 1 car in the wall up against turn number 4. Looks like Martin Truex Jr. may have caught the fence, and the caution flag will fly. That car is Truex. Went way up the racetrack, bounced off the safer barrier, and Truex is going to put us under caution with 6 to go.
Unbelievable turn of events here this afternoon at Michigan International Speedway. Truex bringing out the caution flag with 5 laps to go. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Hello from Michigan International Speedway on a Monday afternoon, and if you are just dialing us in, you came in at the right time with 5 laps to go in the FireKeepers Casino 400 live on the Motor Racing Network. Jeff Striegel alongside is Alex Hayden and the crew chief, Todd Gordon, Dave Moody, Mike Bagley in the turn, Steve Post, Chris Wilner on pit road. We were about to wrap it up. Tyler Reddick was ready to shut it off and coast it home, and all of a sudden, it all changed up in turn 4.
Martin Truex Jr. simply got loose going through turn number 4, chased the car up the racetrack and bounced off the safer barrier, kept the car from spinning all the way around, but there was a little debris that was put down on the racetrack, and safety teams have gone out now to retrieve that with 5 laps to go in this one. How competitive has this race been today, Jeff? We've had 16 different leaders today. That ties the all-time NASCAR Cup Series record for most different leaders here at Michigan International Speedway.
24 lead changes. Have we seen our last? Will Reddick hold them off and go to victory lane? I think the first question that has to be answered, Todd, do you bring your driver onto pit road if you're running in the top 10?
Well, as I look down through the where we are, no, I don't think I do. We'll see what it is. Pit road is open at this point. See what these crew chiefs make for decisions here. But there's too many guys that have just come that we'd cycle behind that I feel like it'd be vulnerable.
24 cars on the lead lap. The front looks like 6 cars, 7 cars maybe are going to stay on the racetrack. Truex, who hit the wall, definitely is coming in to the attention of his crew. Here comes Chris Buescher. He is one that has been in the top 10 today. He's been in a wreck, had some damage to the car, fighting for all he's worth with that race team to get back inside the playoff cut line. Let's follow Chris Buescher to Steve Post.
Yeah, that car's got some damage, that's for sure, on the left front, on the left rear of it, but they have soldiers on and put together a pretty good run. Now, not sure how this pit stop will sort it out. Looks like they might have been a little tight on fuel. They went right side tires and a quick splash of gas, so that's what the story is for Chris Buescher. Martin Truex Jr. down and away, Ryan Freese down and away. All of these cars pitting here with 6 laps to go. Been listening to the radio traffic of Tyler Reddick, and they have just told him you are 5 laps to the good, but keep saving just in case we go into overtime.
The only one that pitted from inside the top 10 was Truex. Everybody else was from 11th on back, as you called it perfectly, Todd. If you're in the top 10, you got to stay out. Truex had no choice but to come to pit road and look at the damage. The top 10, Reddick, that's Tyler Reddick, William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski trying to do something he's never done, and he's got a shot to do it. Brad Keselowski is 4th. Kyle Busch in a virtual must-win situation if he's going to race for a championship. He's got a shot to do it. He is 5th. Then you've got Ryan Blaney, Dave Moody, and Mike Bagley talking about Denny Hamlin a few moments ago. He has rallied back up to 8th. Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher. Of course, Buescher won here a year ago. All right, Alex, what do you think? Who's going to victory lane? Who's going to hoist the Heritage Cup?
Good question. No idea. What I can tell you is with 3 to go right now, we are not getting the 1 to go signal. So at best, it'll be with 2 to go, which means we are going to overtime here in the FireKeepers Casino 400. So that will force these drivers to really pucker up a little more. I think the big thing is, if you're going to win the race, if you're going to win the Heritage Cup for your manufacturer, your lane choice is going to come into play.
And the fact that you won't lift off the throttle for 2 laps and just hold your breath and hold on. The restarts here are insane, Todd. We have seen that. We have watched the lead driver elect to restart outside row 1. That shocked us a week ago when Austin Dillon, we thought, was going to go to the outside. Didn't. Obviously, we know how that ended up. But I would imagine that Reddick will go outside. Wouldn't be surprised to see Byron follow him outside and leave that inside spot up on the front row wide open. What do you think?
It's going to be interesting. I think the leader has to take the outside here. That's been the dominant lane. Unless somebody gets organized in a big push on the bottom, and then they can push that car from the bottom lane out clear of them. I think there's anybody in the top 5 could win this race. It's going to be a great restart. Just see where it plays out. No
real teammates inside the top 7 out there. There are manufacturer mates out there, but no teammates with 2311 Racing and Reddick. Second place from Hendrick Motorsports and Byron. Third place from Joe Gibbs Racing with Ty Gibbs. Fourth place, Roush Fenway Keselowski with Brad. Richard Childress Racing represented in 5th place.
So you've got Ty Gibbs, third's never won before. He will be hungry and he will be aggressive. Brad Keselowski, 4th, has never won here and he wants to. He'll be hungry and aggressive. Kyle Busch has to win if he's going to race for a championship. You know he's going to be aggressive. And then you get back to others as we have the choose here at the line. 1 to go. Green flag will fly next time by. A 2-lap run to the checkered flag. How do they line up?
Outside in for the weave, if you will. The race leader chose the outside. Second place, Byron goes inside. Third place, Gibbs outside, which means 2 Toyotas on the outside lane at the front of the field. Brad Keselowski chose to go to the bottom of the racetrack, which means a Ford would have to help a Chevrolet.
Well, I was just going to say, they have just become best friends. There is hands down, no doubt about it. Brad, Todd, will have to push William as hard as he can if Brad has any shot of going to victory lane, or does he try to dump him and take him 3 wide?
I would not be surprised to see Brad go to the bottom and try to take him 3 wide. I don't think pushing William all the way clear on a 2-lap run is going to put Brad in victory lane. And like you talked about, this is home for him from Rochester Hills. He wants to win at Michigan Speedway.
It is overtime. They'll take the green flag. If a caution flag comes out before the leader gets to the white flag, we'll line them up and do it all over again. Green flag comes out. We race to the white flag, and the leader takes the white flag at the start-finish line. Next flag ends the race as we get set to settle it in the Irish Hills.
All of those folks that skipped a Monday work day and they're here, they're about to be rewarded. This is going to be good. And for all of you that are listening to us live, welcome in. Hang on. This is going to be a green-white checker flag here. The FireKeepers Casino 400 Michigan International Speedway. We are about to wrap it up. We'll go green, white, checker on the outside. Tyler Reddick on the inside. William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs. It's on as they race back to the corner.
Whole lot of shoving going on, particularly in that low lane. William Byron trying to take advantage. He's halfway up. He slides up the banking. Brad Keselowski looking to the bottom. Here comes Reddick on the outside. They're wheel to wheel for the lead.
Side by side for the lead now as they stack it up 3 and 4 wide mid-pack. Tyler Reddick now as smoke begins to billow mid-pack. Couple of cars getting turned around. Ross Chastain is around halfway down the back straightaway. He'll slide up the skid pad into the grass, and Ross Chastain tries to right that orange Chevrolet after taking a spin on the backstretch.
And that'll put us under the caution flag. We'll head to double overtime. 2 things about this. Chastain right on that cut line for the playoff picture. The other factor, who was the race leader when the caution came out and the field is frozen, because they're going to have the opportunity to dictate what lane to choose for the next restart.
And we'll wait for it to become official. Reddick is being currently scored at the top of the leaderboard. William Byron was literally locked to his inside when Bowman bounced off the wall midway down the back straightaway. Did that cause some of the drivers to check up, Todd? And Ross Chastain, wrong place, wrong time, and around he goes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw there, is that Bowman got loose off of turn 2, got up into the wall. A couple guys checked up, and they were stacked 3 wide already. Just stacked them up. And Ross Chastain, a victim of the stack up, and gets a little hook from the back, a little contact there, and goes around.
That's just part of racing here at Michigan. The pack, you have to expect hard racing and contact on restarts. Doesn't matter if it's here or on a short track, anywhere else we race.
I think we have our answer now. William Byron apparently was out front on Reddick, and if he was, it was by a matter of inches. Hang with us. Overtime at Michigan continues.
Here's Brooke Burke for Skechers' new workout walker footwear.
Do you know the world's #1 most popular?
Hey, that's me. Hey, don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, guys. Share with your family and friends. Thank you. KimbroNator.
Walk. It starts with a carbon-infused plate in the sole to add more spring to your step. Plus, it has Skechers Hyper Burst foam for unbelievable cushion with incredible bounce. Plus, workout walkers feature Goodyear rubber for enhanced traction and durability, and Arch Fit insoles with podiatrist-certified arch support for amazing comfort step after step. Make your walking workout more comfortable than ever with Skechers' new workout walker. Find them for men and women at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now we are hearing that William Byron may be close on fuel. He's the race leader. Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, top 5, headed to overtime. That continues next from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
From the infield garages to the race shops, NASCAR Hot Pass is your all-access ticket to the latest news from the sport.
Well, we got them down, now we put our foot on them. And that's the attitude you got to have.
I don't think it's a move that can have any success at Martinsville. I still don't know why it worked.
Stay up to date with all of your favorite drivers all year long.
Get to the Final Four is what every driver in NASCAR's goals are.
NASCAR Hot Pass, weekday mornings from the Motor Racing Network.
This is Tyler Reddick. You're tuned into the excitement of the NASCAR Cup Series on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Now back to the race.
Well, the drama that started yesterday afternoon continues, and it's building here as we move into our second overtime. William Byron took the lead down the back straightaway by inches over Tyler Reddick. He scored as the race leader. That's the good news. Chris Wilner has the bad news.
That's right, Jeff, and right now it's a fuel issue for William Byron. Crew Chief Rudy Fugle just came over the radio and said, buddy, we're about a half a lap within our window to finish this thing or a half a lap short. We need you on max fuel save. Remember, they pitted on lap 153, so they were right at that window, and with this extra caution laps and now a second overtime, it is super close for William Byron. The rest of the field is on notice, but Byron was opting maybe to pit for a splash. They told him to stay out. Max fuel save for the race leader. It's going to come down to a half a lap, according to Crew Chief Rudy Fugle. C-Post, what about your end?
Well, Tyler Reddick, his conversation on his radio has been about William Byron's fuel as well. They believe the same thing. These teams monitor each other's teams, how long they were on pit road, how long the stops are, and they believe the same thing. In fact, they told Tyler Reddick, do not start behind William Byron. We don't think he's going to make it on fuel, or there's a chance he won't make it on fuel. We'll see what happens here as they come to the choose. But Tyler Reddick, the last time they had talked about theirs, they were 5 to the good, but we're going to be awful close to that by the time we get done at this point.
Signal given, 1 to go, choosing what lane to restart in. Byron starts outside lane. Reddick indeed will go to the bottom of the front row. Brad Keselowski will go to the outside, and he'll be the first car on the back bumper of current race leader William Byron. So, Jeff, it gets a little more interesting as we go for double overtime.
Yeah, I'm interested in the thought process on Brad to tuck it in behind the 24 of William Byron. Granted, the outside line is good. He knows Tyler Reddick is fast. It almost paid off last time off, too. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a good call. As long as William gets a good restart. If William runs out at 1 to go, Brad taking the top, I think may be able to clear Tyler Reddick on the bottom because the top will roll. I think it's a good choice here. It's a gamble. He's already got a win. Why not take the gamble for a win here at Michigan International?
Blue skies, temperatures in the upper 60s in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Few puffy white clouds trying to get a peek down here at this racetrack to find out who's going to win the FireKeepers Casino 400. They're lined up in front of Mike Bagley.
Oh, here we go, my friends. Pull those belts tight. Tyler Reddick will restart on the bottom of the racetrack. William Byron up top. Row 2. Ty Gibbs on the bottom. Brad Keselowski outside. Behind them, Chase Elliott will restart to the inside of Kyle Busch. And then Denny Hamlin will restart 4th on the inside against Ryan Blaney, who's 4th on the outside lane.
And Alex Hayden, you mentioned the blue sky. We hate that for everybody that had to leave here early and not take this in because it's been spectacular. And here we go into double overtime at Michigan. Crowd on their feet. Reddick on the inside. William Byron on the outside. Then you've got Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott is in this. So is Kyle Busch. Side by side, Reddick and Byron back to 1.
Byron gets a good jump at the drop of the green flag, but here comes Tyler Reddick. He charges back on the inside. Reddick goes to the lead. Ty Gibbs under Byron for the second spot as they race to the back straightaway.
William Byron now at speed will stay in side-by-side formation with Tyler Reddick. Now with Ty Gibbs. Gibbs will bail out. Here's William Byron going to wedge his way to the inside of Tyler Reddick, trying to get a piece of the lead.
William Byron in second, a half car length underneath the race leader, Tyler Reddick, who swings back to the top spot. Here's the white flag in the air. Tyler Reddick, the leader. A thirsty race car rides second in William Byron.
Final time into turn number 1. They're 3 wide for 5th, but they're too far behind to make a run for the win. It's Reddick by 2 car lengths. William Byron runs second. 2 more back to Ty Gibbs.
Further back, Chase Elliott takes Ryan Blaney at the racetrack, while up front, Tyler Reddick leads the field off the end of the back straightaway. One final shot for William Byron. He'll dial up the low lane as Reddick leads off the corner.
Black and white checkered flag in the air here at Michigan. Tyler Reddick all in the FireKeepers Casino 400, and he is going to win it by a car length over William Byron. Tyler Reddick has scored the win here this afternoon. It is William Byron second, Ty Gibbs across the line third, Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski. That is your top 5 at Michigan. Tyler Reddick has won it. Let's go to pit road and Steve Post.
The crew is down here celebrating Billy Scott. Billy, congratulations. What does it mean to win at Michigan?
Oh, thank you, man. After last year, it's nice to rebound and get one back here. That means a lot. And up and down day, he did a hell of a job driving back to the field.
Yes, he did. That's Billy Scott. They're going to victory lane. Crew chief for Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick is celebrating the win today. From fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this.
Hey, I'm here. I am in chat with you guys right now. I am not able to be here live. I'm recording this Sunday night. So do me one favor, guys. Huge favor. Hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever one. Get your feedback on this stream. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification whenever I come live. You guys can be here with me. Have an amazing Monday. We'll catch you in a minute.
NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
It's all over at the Michigan International Speedway. Tyler Reddick has won the FireKeepers Casino 400. William Byron came home second. Ty Gibbs was third. Kyle Busch was fourth, and Brad Keselowski rounded out the top 5.
Career win number 7 for Tyler Reddick, his second win on the season. He also picked up the win at Talladega. You'll hear from Tyler Reddick coming up here shortly in Victory Lane. First, though, let's hear from some of our top finishers. Chris Wilner.
Third place for Ty Gibbs. You were in contention here at the end. Walk me through the decisions on the final restart. Do you think maybe if it was a little bit different, you would have had a shot at the leader?
Yeah, and it's just really, really hard to pass here. It doesn't reward, honestly, the pass, right? You just get shuffled or whatever. So I had to get a gap, and then going into one, I just got really, really tight behind the 24. Definitely should have approached my corner differently, but I didn't. I don't know really if I could have got him. Maybe I could have got him, but it is what it is. We'll have to go back and look at it. But thank you to Monster Energy, Toyota, Interstate Batteries, and he gets us. Wish we could have won that, but we'll take it there.
Another solid performance for Ty Gibbs, a top 5 coming home in the 3rd position. Finishing in the 4th spot, how about Kyle Busch? What a run in a must-win situation. Kyle, what more did you need at the end? I know you wanted to win that one badly.
Yeah, I mean, we just didn't quite have the pace that we needed overall. You know, when those guys were running O's and teens and we were running 30s, you know, so we just needed a little bit more overall pace. But good pit strategy today by Randall and the guys. Made some really good calls, kept us up front, got us up front, was able to recollect some of those lost positions on some of those pit stops that we had when we were off cycle. But 2-tire call at the end was great. But, of course, those late cautions, you know, would hurt us worse than others being on 2, but it actually hung on okay, and we got a good top 5 out of it. So proud of the day.
When you look at the speed you had today overall, good sign of things to come?
Yeah, I mean, better for sure. You know, up in the top 10 much of the day, fighting for positions up in the top 10 much of the day. We can certainly have more speed if we had better balance. We just kept getting too tight off of the corners, and that's where we were losing our time. So there's more potential in the setup being better and having more speed. So just good day overall for the Lucas Oil Chevrolet, and you know, hope that next week with Cheddars and Zone and the remainder races coming up that we can put ourselves in a position to win one.
All right, that's Kyle Busch, guys. A top 5 finish. He needed one, but he comes home again solidly in that 4th position. And then Brad Keselowski rounding out the top 5 real quick with Brad. And I know this is one, as a Rochester Hills, Michigan native, you're in contention at the end. What's going through your mind knowing you had a shot there at the end?
Yeah, I was hoping I could push William clear to the lead there on the last restart and just didn't go anywhere. We were pushing, but we didn't go anywhere. But yeah, solid day. We kind of ran around that 5th place for most of the day today, and really competitive and fun. Needed a little bit more to run with the 45 and a couple of those other cars, but we're certainly inside of it.
All right, the top 5 for Brad Keselowski. He'll have to wait another year to try to win at his home track here at Michigan.
He will, but he gave it a heck of a run here today, coming home in the number 5 position. How about the summer stretch Tyler Reddick and that entire race team have put together? They have been on an absolute tear, and with this victory, they now own the regular season points lead by 10 over Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin is up to 3rd now, and Kyle Larson has fallen back to 4th.
He is on a tear, Tyler Reddick, right now. 7 straight top 10 finishes, and I believe 6 of those have resulted in a top 5 finish, actually 4 of those. He's on a tear right now. There is, I mean, you look at it, you say, okay, there's no stopping Tyler Reddick at this point.
Yeah, they're in playoff form right now. And last year at this point, I didn't think they were. You know, they Billy referenced, they got one kind of taken away here, but went into the playoffs really strong. But this year, what great momentum they've been carrying really all summer long, and look for it coming forward. Definitely a contender.
Time now to pick the Xfinity Mobile Reliable Performance of the race, presented by Xfinity. Todd?
Yeah, there's so many places you could go here. You could go Tyler Reddick because they recovered back. I'm not going to go there because he got the trophy and Toyota got that Heritage Cup. So I'm going to go Chris Buescher. Involved in the wreck with Kyle Larson back in, lap 116. Got damaged, came to pit road, worked their way through the day. They came there when we got to the last caution at 196, drove their way back to a 6th-place finish, puts him, at this point, 16 points above the cut line. A great run for the 6-17 team.
It absolutely was. I'll go along with that. The Xfinity Mobile Reliable Performance goes to Chris Buescher. Just like Buescher, Xfinity Mobile's got you covered with a reliable nationwide network. Learn more at xfinity.com/mobile.
So, Chris Buescher winning the award, Tyler Reddick winning the race. He's in victory lane right now. By the way, it is career win 7 also for 23-11, career win number 7 for Tyler Reddick. He's in victory lane, and he's alongside the postman.
Yes, indeed. He is still inside the race car. He brought Bo, his son, in the passenger seat. Bo ran out to the start-finish line and got a ride into victory lane. Tyler Reddick getting ready to climb out of this race car. This crew has been bathing each other in Monster and in water, so I can't imagine what this is going to be like when Tyler gets out of the race car. They are ready. They are set to go as Tyler Reddick goes up top, and yes, indeed, the monster in the water is flying down here. Now Reddick starting to give it back, and man, there is a whole bunch of happy people down here. First one to his car was his teammate Bubba Wallace. Bo is down here talking to his dad. Tyler, crew guys getting a celebratory hugs in here and just celebrating with his guys down here. Man, oh man, this is such a tough sport, such a team sport. Tyler Reddick getting in here and getting the rounds with the guys, with the crew guys. Tyler, as you look at this race, Billy Scott, he's talking to Billy Scott right now down here. Billy Scott described this as an up and down day. Describe your perspective on this day as the congratulations continue. Now the hug for Billy down here. And yes, here, exactly. Tyler, and up and down.
I really drug that one out. Yeah, just had to keep coming up with things to talk about, huh?
I was just tap dancing away there, but lots of congratulations, lots of hug. Talk about the day and the up and down nature of it and how you guys ultimately got to the front.
Yeah, we went into Sunday night kind of scratching our heads on a McDonald's Toyota Camry, but everyone here at 2311 did a really good job. We had a good mindset going into tomorrow, what adjustments we needed. I love resin. I love resin, yes. I love running high, and I couldn't really do it yesterday. I know it's going to be important for us to work on that going into this race today, and I think just this entire group did a really good job of that, and we made great adjustments. And honestly, going into stage 3, we kind of had a tough go of it on pit row, but it was a great catch by Devin and everybody on the team. A great way to get redemption for sure from 1 year ago here.
The restarts at the end, kind of describe that last restart and how you were able to get the advantage, even though you started on the inside, even though you were second.
Well, I was pretty pissed that the caution came out with 5 or 6 to go as it was, and then William did a really good job of staying with me on the bottom, and just with Brad closing in when he did, had to be more focused on him than side drafting William. So he got control of it there, and just really thankful for Ty Gibbs. Great teammate. Toyota Racing family took care of each other today, that's for sure.
The season, you're the point leader now, you're the point leader now, and you get momentum into the playoffs. Where are you guys at now, and what does this mean to you to be at this point as we get ready to go playoff racing in a few weeks?
Well, I get to go to Daytona, and hopefully don't crash. Last time we were there, we won the duel, so hoping to walk away from Daytona still in the points lead. I think if we can do that, it'll set us up to be in a really good spot to close us out in Darlington.
Final question. You mentioned your Toyota teammate, the Heritage Cup. We understand how important is it. What does it mean to you to deliver that to the folks at Toyota?
Yeah, Toyota dumps so much into this sport and really just elevates all the Toyota Camrys on the racetrack. They believe in me. They believe in Denny, Michael Jordan, the vision of this team. It's just really great to have their cooperation. And one final thing as well, just thought it was really cool we were able to get to victory lane today. And just thinking of Scott Bloomquist and his family and his friends. What a way, I think this one should be dedicated to him. He's meant a lot to me, and he's one of those that played a huge role in helping me get to this stage. So wouldn't be here today without him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Scott Bloomquist getting the honors here from Tyler Reddick. Scott, the legendary, iconic dirt late model driver from California originally. Tyler Reddick started in dirt late models in California, and a really, really neat tribute to the late Scott Bloomquist, who lost his life on Friday morning in a plane crash.
Yeah, sad deal there. Congratulations to Tyler Reddick and his team. Let's hear from William Byron right now with Chris Wilner and how they were able to save that gas.
Well, they did indeed save, but William Byron comes oh so close, and I know we had 2 overtime restarts. You were on the bottom for the first, chose the top on the second. Did you maybe wish you rethought that at the end?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that was the difference, but, he was really fast. His car was really good, and he did a good job on the long run, so he had us beat. And then, the restarts gave us a chance, and we weren't quite able to, I guess, make the right choice and have the right push and all of that. So always will look back at that, but proud of the effort today. It was good.
Yeah, and I talked with your crew chief, Rudy Fugel, earlier this weekend about maybe that kind of summer slump and the results aren't there. Do you feel like now with this result you can propel you in these final couple weeks before the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we've just been up and down. I feel like since we've come back from the break, we've had a good mindset. We've been executing well. Pit crew's been doing a good job, and we've been making good decisions. So we've just been communicating well and had a few things, in the off break that we could really go to work on and just really kind of come together. So just proud of the fact that we've stayed together through this and feel like we're in a good spot going into these playoffs.
All right, a solid result. Guys, that's William Byron finishing second. He said the car didn't sputter, so it was at least had enough to come back to pit road, but certainly they were close on fuel.
Yeah, gave him a run for his money, didn't he, Chris? Talking about William Byron, who comes home second. Here's how it wraps up here this afternoon on a Monday afternoon with Tyler Reddick picking up the win over William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. You heard from all 5 of those drivers. Chris Buescher was 6th. Zane Smith, what a run. 7th place here this afternoon for Zane. Daniel Suarez, 8th. Denny Hamlin, 9th. And Carson Hocevar on his home track, Alex Hayden, scores a top 10 here at Michigan.
Ryan Preece was 11th. Noah Gragson, 12th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was 13th. Harrison Burton with a good run finishes 14th. Chase Elliott was 15th. Eric Jones, 16th. Austin Dillon was 17th, Ryan Blaney 18th, Michael McDowell 19th, and Justin Haley was 20th.
Cody Ware was 21st, Josh Berry 22nd, Daniel Hemrick 23rd, Martin Truex Jr. Fell all the way to 24th. Ross Chastain 25th, Bubba Wallace 26th, Alex Bowman finished 27th, Austin Cindric 28th, John Hunter Nemechek 29th, and A.J. Allmendinger was 30th.
Chase Briscoe 31st, Cory LaJoie 32nd, Joey Logano 33rd, Kyle Larson 34th. You had Christopher Bell finish 35th and Todd Gilliland finished 36th. We're off to the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway, and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 next week. Championship getting closer and closer. Daytona and Darlington in the Cookout Southern 500. The 2 races remain in the regular season. As we end here at Michigan, Chris Buescher, 16 points to the good in 15th, and it can't get much closer than what it is to the cut line right now. Ross Chastain is in by 1 point over Bubba Wallace.
Thank you to every single race fan that spent their weekend with us here on the Motor Racing Network. Thank you also to Joe Fowler and Jen Hutchinson here and the staff and team at the Michigan International Speedway.